Yeah, Facebook, please permit us to use this music to thank our fans. We have no copyrights. Thank you.
All hail Biafra, land of the rising sun. We love and cherish. We have vanquished our enemies. All hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. In him we trust. Shout it, sing it, all hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. We have emerged triumphant from all our foes. Through the crucible unscathed, we passed victorious. Our trumpets pealing the glorious song. Play it, sing it, all hail Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra, we shall always remember all that perished in the struggle for our freedom. All hail our heroes, our prayer shall be known both day and night. Say them always, all hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. Now our star shines everywhere. We crave humility. God guide and protect us all. All hail your wisdom, shielding us from fury, unleashed by your enlightenment. Biafra, Biafra, shining forever.
In the heart of Biafra's land, where courage blooms, Mazinamdi Kanu stands, defying darkened tombs. A beacon of hope, a voice soon yielding. He fights for justice, freedom, heart's true healing. Mazi Asume Sumwe Kwensu, your spirit ablaze, guiding your people through the tumultuous mazes. From prison walls you sing defiance and truth, a symphony of liberation, unwavering in you. Freedom, freedom, let it echo across the hills, where rivers flow and dreams ascend, where hope fulfills. Biafra's anthem rises, carried by winds so strong, a melody of resilience, a battle cry, a lifelong song. In the shadows chains may bind, but not the soul. Mazinamti Kanu, your purpose takes its toll. The world may turn away, blind to your plight, yet your flame burns brighter, igniting the fight. Behind prison bars you weave tales of courage, a tapestry of resistance woven without rage. Your words pierce the silence like sunbeams through rain, calling for freedom's dawn, breaking every chain. Freedom, freedom, let it echo across the hills, where rivers flow and dreams ascend, where hope fulfills. Biafra's anthem rises, carried by winds so strong, a melody of resilience, a battle cry, a lifelong song. In the heart of Biafra's land, where courage blooms, Mazinamti Kanu stands, defying darkened tombs. A beacon of hope, a voice soon yielding. He fights for justice, freedom, heart's true healing. Mazi asume sumwe kwensu, your spirit ablaze, guiding your people through the tumultuous mazes. From prison walls you sing defiance and truth, a symphony of liberation, unwavering in you. Freedom, freedom, let it echo across the hills, where rivers flow and dreams ascend, where hope fulfills. Biafra's anthem rises, carried by winds so strong, a melody of resilience, a battle cry, a lifelong song. Chains may blind, but not the soul. Mazinamti Kanu, your purpose takes its toll. The world may turn away, blind to your plight, yet your flame burns brighter, igniting the fight. Behind prison bars you weave tales of courage, a tapestry of resistance woven without rage. Your words pierce the silence like sunbeams through rain, calling for freedom's dawn, breaking every chain. Freedom, freedom, let it echo across the hills, where rivers flow and dreams ascend, where hope fulfills. Biafra's anthem rises, carried by winds so strong, a melody of resilience, a battle cry, a lifelong song. And tribute Mazinamti Kanu's situation is complex, and this song does not capture all aspects. Let us continue to hope for justice and peace. Dun dun. In the heart of Biafra's land, where courage blooms, Mazinamti Kanu stands, defying darkened tombs. A beacon of hope, a voice soon yielding. He fights for justice, freedom, heart's true healing. Mazi asume sumwe kwensu, your spirit ablaze, guiding your people through the tumultuous mazes. From prison walls you sing defiance and truth, a symphony of liberation, unwavering in you. Freedom, freedom, let it echo across the hills, battle cry, a lifelong song. In the shadows, chains may bind, but not the soul. Mazinamti Kanu, your purpose takes its toll. The world may turn away, blind to your plight, yet your flame burns brighter, igniting the fight. Behind prison bars, you weave tales of courage, a tapestry of resistance woven without rage. Your words pierce the silence like sunbeams through rain, calling for freedom's dawn, breaking every chain. Freedom, freedom, let it echo across the hills, where rivers flow and dreams ascend, where hope fulfills. Biafra's anthem rises, carried by winds so strong, a melody of resilience, a battle cry, a lifelong song. And tribute Mazinamti Kanu's situation is complex, and this song does not capture all aspects. Let us continue to hope for justice and peace. Dun dun.
Hello, my wonderful people of Biafra, friends of Biafra. Hello, my wonderful and lovers of freedom. This is Mazi Ezumezu Nwekwensu. As I welcome you to this wonderful edition, please endeavor to welcome others. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on your time zone. This is Mazi Ezumezu Nwekwensu. As I welcome you once more again, please endeavor to welcome others. It's very important. Today's program is going to be educative. Today's program is going to debunk the liars and the blackmailers. Again, please, as you come in, please endeavor to hit the like button and share the program. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. As you come in, endeavor to invite your loved ones, share the program. It's very, very important. And this stream is a new stream we are using today. Today is the first time we are using it. League stream, professional league stream. A month is $50, $49. That is $50 a month. And let's try it and see how it works. And we are live on various platforms tonight. We are live on various platforms. We are live on YouTube. Ikechukwu Ezumezu. We are live on YouTube. Ikechukwu Ezumezu. Ikechukwu Ezumezu. We are also live on Twitter. We're also live on Twitter. If we look down, we see our Twitter handle name Benjamin 944-13741 on Twitter, on S handle. We are live on Twitter. We're also live on TikTok. Maazị Ezumezu Nwekwensu. You will get us live on TikTok. Maazị Ezumezu Nwekwensu. We are live on our YouTube, Ikechukwu Ezumezu. So please, in any platform you are watching us, please share our program and invite your loved ones. It's very important. Share our program, invite your loved ones. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Because we are going to debunk the lies, the blackmailers. We are going to debunk them. It is time. Like I said, we never lose a battle. And Igbos, we are very patient in anything we do. We are very, very patient in anything we do. So today's program is going to be on January 1966 Coup, tag Igbo Coup. And as you all know, Onye Ndu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB leader, have authorized his legal team to sue anybody, any group that tagged January 1966 Coup, Igbo Coup. Onye Ndu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu has authorized his legal team, led by the White Council, Barrister Ejimako, to sue anybody, anyone who tagged January 1966 Coup as an Igbo Coup. We all know how this propaganda started from BBC network, but we are debunking it today. Today's program is going to be very, very educative and important, and we must appreciate one of our own that we are going to use his video on this program. We are going to use his video on this program. We are going to use his video on this program. Desmond Obilo. Please, Biafrans, Igbos, Nigerians, go and follow this man on his YouTube channel. He's on Twitter. Follow him on his Twitter. He's on Instagram. Follow him on Instagram. This guy have contributed a lot, debunking the lies from Nigeria government and international communities. Desmond Obilo, please, Biafrans, I'm begging you, go and subscribe on his YouTube channel. It's very, very important. And he invited a man, I think Peter, is from North, from Kogi State. He's ex-Nigeria soldier that fought in Biafra war, fought against Biafra. He fought against Biafra. And he retired from Nigeria military force in 1979. In 1979, he retired. We are going to use his video. We're going to use his video on today's program. because I so much love this program. And at some point, tears fell out from my eyes. Tears fell out from my eyes. So please, Biafrans, go and subscribe on his YouTube channel, Anthony Desmond Obilo. Go and subscribe on his YouTube channel. It's very, very important. So you can see the flyer today is about the lies and blackmails against Igbo's Biafra, 1966 January Coup. IPOB Supreme Leader authorized MNK legal team to sue anyone who say January 1966 Coup was Igbo Coup. This is going to be our topic today. But before then, we have to pray about 3 minutes video. The news from Nigeria, Ofele asking Nigeria government, asking Tinubu to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Asking Tinubu to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. This is not the first time they are calling for release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. This is not the first time. As you all know, a lot of people have called release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But guess what? Nigeria government keep mutes. But one thing I know, nothing lasts forever. When you throw a stone up, there will be at the peak of that stone up, he will descend down. That nothing lasts forever. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must be free. It's very important. Let's go to let's go there. Yes. The news from Arise TV. Bear with me. I told you guys this is a new stream beard. So let's see what is happening.
the next 6 months or thereabouts, you know, you see politicians begin to discuss 2027 and thereabout. And so we feel that it is very important at this time. But there is no way you will discuss issue of security in this country, issue of national reconciliation, issue of southeast of Nigeria without the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. So we feel that, yes, there is no useful purpose for his detention. Detaining Nnamdi Kanu up till now will not serve Nigeria any useful purpose. But releasing him will go a long way, you know, to calm down the frayed nerves in the country, and for us to have, well, in Nigeria, well, everybody at least will have a better sense of belonging. I find if I just feel at this time that there is no need for federal government continuing to. In fact, I wouldn't know whether there was any need to have even detained him in the first place, particularly for this long.
But looking at the federal government's body language, you know, and its, should I say, inaction regarding this matter, you know, so far, because several groups have also called for his release. What makes you, or should I say, are you optimistic that the federal government will listen to this call from Afenifere?
Well, you see, Afenifere looks at things from the objective point of view at a particular time in the history of our nation. And we are not doing it for the first time. If you cast your mind back to sometimes around 1981, in faraway northeast Nigeria, and one sugar bar was deported, and the federal government suddenly called him a Cameroonian and deported him, is it a Cameroonian or a Chadian, and deported him from Nigeria. Afenifere then, still under the leadership of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, rose to the occasion. It is not a matter of whether we are optimistic or not. It is a question of, is it just, is it right, what we are asking, is it appropriate? And so it is for us to make our own demand, to advise government, and it is for government to take its own decision.
Fair enough. And we also know that during the meeting, the barrister Dele Farotimi was appointed the new National Organizing Secretary.
So my people, you know, today's program is going to be unique, but you have to bear with me because this is the first time we are using this stream. It's a professional stream. Like I say, it's nice. We are live at various platforms. So, what I have called the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Like I said, this is not the first time they are calling the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And you can agree with me, with the man, what the man said is truth. There's no reason holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime. There's no reason holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he committed no crime. If I say that I am okay in my marriage, that I don't want to marry it anymore, I'm free to live. I'm free to live. UK walk out from EU. UK walk out of EU. Nobody was spy. Nobody was crucified. Dublin in UK said that no, okay, if you guys go out, we are still sticking with EU. Nobody was spy. In Dublin in UK, they are still using EU today. They still have their ties with EU. Scotland is also asking for a referendum. Nobody was spy. Nobody was crucified. Nobody is in prison. Why in Nigeria asking for your freedom become a treason? Why in Nigeria asking for a freedom become a crime? Why in Nigeria asking for a freedom you are made to be targeted? Why? I'm asking why. So this program, please, as you come in, make sure you tag Wounded civilian, let him come in. Let him come in. If he's man enough, let him come in. Wounded civilian, tag him. Tag him, let him come. Let him come. So, all walks of life in Nigeria have asked for this of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why are they still holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why? Remember what I said before. The people that are responsible holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the oil companies in Nigeria. Take it from me. The people that are responsible holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB leader, is this oil company in the land. Shell, Texaco, Agip, Saipem, B plus B, Julius Berger, B plus B, Halliburton, all those companies, they are the one holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are the one holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because they are not comfortable coming off Biafra nation. They are not comfortable because they are making a lot of money in the land. They are stealing in the land. They are stealing in the land. So they are afraid that if Biafra they stop, they will be monitored. They will be checkmate. They will start doing the right thing. These oil companies are against Biafra restoration. This is the fact. And if you talk about this oil company, who are the people that hold this oil company? It's international communities. They are the one. America, UK, Germany, France, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Italy, Spain. They are the one that hold this company. And their government is backing them up, whatever they demand. They are the people that hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is the fact. But you know what? Nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be free. I said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be free, whether you like it or not. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be free, whether you like it or not. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be free. You must release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he committed no crime. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not against any country that want to do business with Biafrans. It will be on open table. We discuss, we negotiate terms and conditions. Yes, terms and conditions. Terms and conditions. So I think let's play it again. Calling of release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is really important. Let's play it again.
Called on President Bola Tinubu to release the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. At the end of the meeting on Tuesday at the Ogun State residence of Afenifere National Leader Chief Ayo Adebanjo, the group said that fair hearing for the IPOB leader may no longer be guaranteed due to controversial and conflicting legal proceedings in different courts on the matter. Afenifere also restated its position on a number of current issues within the governance in Nigeria, including the worsening state of insecurity, and signed off by appointing lawyer and activist Dele Farotimi as its national organizing secretary. Well, we're now being joined by Chief Olushola Ebishani, who is the Secretary General of Afenifere, to have a look at the state of the Nigerian nation, as well as the decisions taken at the meeting on Tuesday. It's great to have you in the studio with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
So it seems many things came out of this meeting that happened, but let's take them one by one. First of all, the calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu.
That's correct.
What should we make of the timing of this calling, seeing as he's been in detention for quite a while and battling his legal troubles? What is it that right now, What
Yes.
happened? What transpired?
Well, like you said, we discussed quite a number of issues bordering on the state of the nation. And there is no doubt that issues of, security, national reconciliation, and all of that at this critical time is very important. And we see the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, the release of Nnamdi Kanu, as such that could bring about national reconciliation. We actually do not want it to be seen as a political issue. Any moment from now, maybe in the next 6 months or thereabouts, you will see politicians begin to discuss 2027 and thereabout. And so we feel that it is very important at this time, because there is no way you will discuss issue of security in this country, issue of national reconciliation, issue of southeast of Nigeria without the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. So we feel that, yes, there is no useful purpose for his detention. Detaining Nnamdi Kanu up till now will not serve Nigeria any useful purpose. By releasing him will go a long way, to calm down the free nerves in the country, and for us to have, in Nigeria, everybody at least will have a better sense of belonging. I find anybody just feel at this time that there is no need for federal government continuing to. In fact, I wouldn't know whether there was any need to have even detained him in the first place, particularly for this long.
But looking at the federal government's body language, and its, should I say, inaction regarding this matter, so far, because several groups have also called for his release. What makes you, or should I say, are you optimistic that the federal government will listen to this call from Afenifere?
Well, you see, Afenifere looks at things from the objective point of view at a particular time in the history of our nation, and we are not doing it for the first time. If you cast your mind back to sometimes around 1981, in faraway northeast Nigeria, and one sugar bar was deported, and the federal government suddenly called him a Cameroonian and deported him, is it a Cameroonian or a Chadian, and deported him from Nigeria. Afenifere then, still under the leadership of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, rose to the occasion. It is not a matter of whether we are optimistic or not. It is a question of, is it just, is it right, what we are asking, is it appropriate? And so it is for us to make our own demand, to advise government, and it is for government to take its own decision.
Fair enough. And we also know that during the meeting, the barrister Dele Farotimi was appointed the new.
So they called for release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and don't also forget that even Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a member of the organization too. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a member of Afenifere too. But the fact is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because committed no crime is very important. So without wasting much of our time, let's go to our main program today. Our main program. Like I said, please, Biafrans, we must go and subscribe on Desmond Obilo YouTube channel. It's very important. This guy is doing wonderful. This guy is doing wonderful, absolutely wonderful. This guy is debunking the lies that lasted for years with facts and figure. This guy is educating us on history with facts. Please, we must, I repeat, I say we must go and subscribe on his YouTube channel. It's very important. And on this program, this sir, I'll call it sir, his guest is Nigeria ex-soldier, fought against Biafra. He lived in North, and he traveled all the way from North to Ibadan for this interview. So it's very important. So let's go to the main video. But before then, I have did program on this 1966 Coup 2 times. The last one was on January 2024. On January 2024, that was the last one I did. I think let's bring it up on stream. Let's bring it up on stream. It's very important. Yeah. So you can see, this is the second program I did on this issue, debunking the lies and blackmail and propaganda against Igbo, 1966 military coup. If you go on my page on Ikechukwu Ezumezu, it was pinned there. Thousands have watched it. And on this program, I played a lot of video from Gowon, the lies and deceit from Gowon. The lies and deceit from Gowon. Let's listen.
Chineke nna ije mara anya.
We are live at Ikechukwu Omade Ezumezu. We share our program there. Please, if you are watching from there, please share and like. It's very important. We are also live at Ikechukwu Ezumezu. Please, if you are watching us from there, please share and like. We are also live at Maazị Ezumezu Nwekwensu. This is our page. Please, my fans, the hardcores, please go and follow me on this page. It's very important. Maazị Ezumezu Nwekwensu. That page is very important. Go and follow me there. It's very important we build that page, please. We're also live at YouTube. YouTube is doing marvelous well. I think we are clocking to 100. It's amazing. It's amazing. I will not forget when we are only two people in YouTube. Only 2 people in YouTube. From 2 people to 5 people. From 5 people, we keep on increasing. The YouTube fans, you guys are wonderful. Please endeavor to share our program. Sell it to various groups we belong to. Is the lies and blackmail and propaganda against Igbos about the coup, about 1966 coup. Please tag wounded civilian. All those is shenanigans, all those is lies, all those is the hater he have on Igbos will not lead him to anywhere. Will not lead him to anywhere. But I wouldn't blame him much, because there are our brothers that are always they are at his back. Somebody like Udene. Somebody like Osnoichi Eziokwu. Few of them, they are giving him, go, we'll push you, go, nothing. But wounded civilian, come here, let me educate you. Let me educate you with fact and figure. My program, you guys know my program, Fanatical IPOB.
That is it.
We say things with evidence. We say things here with evidence. So please tag wounded civilian. If you also want to take a challenge, I challenge him. Let him come up. Actually, here too, Otimbodombo. Can see you Otimbodombo tata with a joke with facts. You guys will remember when I made that statement. I told you that even that queue, even that queue, that queue, the tag Igbo queue, the first queue, January 1966. I told you that queue was planned. Was planned by Britain, British government, and the Westerners. Let me say British government and the rest, including America. They staged that queue just to do what? To make sure they destabilize Nigeria. Because then Nigeria economy was going up so well. Our money was so good. Our money then powerful. We don't need visa to go to America. We don't need visa to go to UK or even what is Germany. Nigeria was booming, and the West they are so afraid. And remember, oil was discovered in 1956 and was first exported in 1958. The Eastern region economy was booming. And on top of the gold, on top of the gold we have on the Eastern region, then they now discover oil in 1956. And the West, they know that this oil will serve in future. They need to tap on this oil. They need to have access to it. And then Zeke and the rest, and Tafawa Balewa and Ahmadi Bello and the Awolowo, they were pushing for independence. And in the West, the economy was good, was powerful. In the West, the economy was powerful also. Also in the North, they were not doing that kind of bad. But among the three regions, the West, the East, the economy was top-notch. The North was not that kind of good, but they are still doing fine because they have granules. We are doing fantastically good. We have no reason to go to America. Our people have no reason to go to America. Our people have no reason to go to UK, to go to Europe. No. Because so, like I said, this program was on January 2024. We're going to play the video, the video later, because some of the lies from Yakubu go on. And you will hear when I say that even the coup was planned by Westerners. And we are asking our brother, Desmond Obilo, please look into it. Look into the statement and go on your research. Because in Zogo and the rest of them, they were back up. They were back up with the Westerners. Because in that January 1966 coup, this is my opinion, and this is what I think. The Westerners, they want to destabilize Nigeria, and they play the game of the good, the bad, the ugly. They are the same people in the other hand, give the knowledge, so back the young soldiers. They were the same people in the other hand, planning their downfall of the coup, just to make sure that Nigeria is being destroyed. And today, is Nigeria not destroyed? And how it started? That January 1966 coup is the problem, is the beginning of what is happening to Nigeria today. So, without talking much, I'm going to present this video from our brother, Anthony Obilo, the interview he granted, how he debunked the lies. And I so much appreciate the ex-soldier from Kogi State. May Chukwu quickly bear and bless you guys for this program. Now let's go. Let's listen. Yes, your video is in the 1 hour limit upgrade now. Okay, hold on. Hold on, please. Hold on, because this stream is a new stream, so a lot of features. Yes. Okay.
Nzogu revolution as Igbo revolution. They made an alliance with the party of Akintola. That was, I was telling that the ruling party wanted to extend their political tentacle to capture power in the West. Revolution is a revolution, whether people are from the same place, provided you have the same mind to remove those in power, it doesn't matter at all. Nzogu was given that national honor. So he was a hero. Look at how they left the north in chaos. How many of them became president of this country from northern part of the country? Look at the poverty there. At Alamire, we rule. Our people govern for almost 20-something years. But what have we gotten from the north? Poverty and squalor. Abject poverty in the north.
Why did you join the army to fight Biafra?
And I reminded Nigeria that they could have harnessed the resources, human resources, the scientific evolution that took place in Biafra to shape the scope of our ability.
Book, you mentioned Biafran armored vehicle called Red Devil.
Red Devil.
You saw it in action.
I don't think such a thing will happen in this country again. I don't think any sensible person who witnessed the Holocaust will talk about any war. What about the politicians? Have they learned any lesson? It's sad, very sad indeed. Our politicians have never learned any lesson at all about the war.
Nzogu's Coup speech was talking about those who collect 10%.
10%.
Good for nothing VIP.
Yes.
And they got angry and struck.
Yeah, they struck. Saying here now that if Nigeria continues leadership to Igbo people, then this country will not move forward.
Fought with the 3rd Marine Commando,
Exactly.
led by Colonel Benjamin Adekunle, the Black Scorpion.
Yes.
Why was he called the Black Scorpion?
I say the war was prolonged because Adekunle did not pay attention to the welfare of the soldiers. After the war, we did not get anything. We did not get anything. Brother Obasanjo was posted to us, and he was taught in the trenches of the 12th Brigade at Aba, Ogbo Hill. He came to the trench where we were, and we quickly planned to take him out.
I have a war veteran with me. We have come to walk down history lane. We have come to reflect. It's about understanding where we are coming from and then look into the future. My guest is Peter Faruna Salifu, WO2 retired. Old soldier, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Thank you so much, Bilo.
How are you?
Fine.
You are 77.
77 years old.
Yeah. And you still remember your days as a soldier.
Exactly.
In fact, one thing I like about your memories is that you have decided to put pen to paper.
Exactly.
To tell your stories. You have a new book.
Exactly.
Entitled The Holocaust of the Nigerian Biafra War.
Exactly.
1967 to 1970. My memories from the war front. The Holocaust. You called it Holocaust.
Yes.
How?
Because the war was devastated, very, very destructive war that we fought, that consumed lives, destroyed property. That was why I give that my book that title.
Holocaust.
Holocaust.
Who committed the Holocaust?
Well, both sides, Nigeria and Biafrans.
Your new book, you made a very strong argument in chapter 2 of the book.
Yes.
Saying that did not cause the war.
Yes.
Who caused the war?
The cause of that war, if we look at it closely, and through my intensive research, I discovered that that war was caused by the revengeful counter-coup of Major Murtala Mohammed, July 29, 1966. You see, that coup brought about hardship to Igbo people. The coup was a coup of revengeance. Through my research, I equally discovered that the killings of July 29, 1966 can be referred to a massacre of Igbo people. A senseless killing, it to say Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Gowon stemmed the degeneration of that killing into Igbo program. There could have no war at all, civil war at all. But that coup snowballed into Igbo program that brought about the war, ignited the war itself. That is my opinion. There's no way, there's no other way you can look at it. That's the truth of the matter. And that's my strong belief. It was not the Undogu revolution, 1966 revolution that was erroneously believed to be the person who caused the war, nor Igbo as a whole, nor Ojukwu as a whole. But the war was caused by that 1966, July 1966 coup.
You are an Igala man from Kogi State.
I'm from the north.
You are not an Igbo man.
I'm not an Igbo man. I'm not from the south.
You joined the Nigerian Army in 1967.
I joined the Nigerian Army in 1967.
The pogrom you are talking about took place in 1966.
In 1966.
You were in Kaduna then.
I was a living witness.
What did you see?
I saw so many things. I was there working at one of the textile industry at Kakuri, Kaduna, when the first coup was staged by Major Kaduna. When the coup came up, it was jubilation all over the street in Kaduna. People were jubilating. And they were happy about that coup that took place. Because if you see how that coup came up, there were some events going on. The corruption, and nepotism. People disliked those things, and the crisis that came up in the Western region during 1965 election as a result of the ruling class trying to extend their political tentacle to cover the West So it resulted to using talks to snatch away boxes. There was naked rigging of election that degenerated into almost anarchy in the West. So the riot in the West, which was probably referred to as Operation Weti, Operation Weti, where mass people were killed, was going on. That was helpless to quell the situation, and this created an avenue for the military people to take over.
And you said there were jubilations in the street of Kaduna.
Yes,
when Zogo and Co struck. But why would they jubilate when Ahmadu Bello, their leader, was killed in that coup?
Because of the happenings, the political happenings during that time. People were disenchanted with the level of corruption going on among the ruling class. The nepotism was going on. And it came to a level where vote did not count. A nascent democracy in the Fourth Republic. So people were not happy.
Before we continue, this is the coup. They told you that it's an Igbo coup. This is the coup they told you it's an Igbo coup. Remember my previous program and what I'm saying, that these young majors want to rebuild Nigeria because of the rate of corruption. The rate of corruption then. And you can hear Peter is from the north. He participated in Nigeria Biafra war. You're going to hear the Lord today. For years, this is why we brainwashing those that allow them to the mere propaganda and blackmailers and blackmail to their gullible followers. But tonight, you will have an opportunity to hear from one of the horses' mouths telling you what caused the coup, telling you the purpose of that coup. And that's why IPOB leader Mazin Nani kind of said, but it's time to debunk this lie that any group of people tag that Igbo coup, tag 1966 coup as an Igbo coup, that person must be sued. And the legal team, they're up and doing. We can see the lawsuits, the MK legal team on a policeman trying to blaspheme or destroy Mazin Nnamdi Kanu name, tagging him what he know nothing. He started, and I said to this men, MK legal team, ụmụnwaka ekene m unu, Barrister Enyemako, Nnaemeka Ejiofor, Barrister Maxwell, Barrister Jude, Barrister Mandela, and the rest of them. I think they're up to 7. Ekene m unu for doing the right thing. So you are going to listen why they struck these young majors, and go to Barrister Enyemako profile. You will see the list of those that participated on that queue. Majority of them are not Igbos. Majority of them are not Igbos. But let's listen to this man. It's very important.
Who did you see jubilating? Were they
The
northerners
masses, the
or
masses,
southerners in Kaduna?
masses of the people.
Did you jubilate?
Yes, I did. I did.
You welcomed the coup.
I thought it was a relief, a big relief. I thought it was a big relief.
In your first book, this book,
Yes,
this is your first book
exactly.
about the war.
Yeah,
You titled the book The Bloody Nigerian Biafran War.
exactly.
You called the first coup a revolution.
A revolution.
Why was it a revolution?
It was a change in government. Change in government.
In this book, it's like you celebrated the first coup.
I celebrated it. I celebrated it. If you look at the personality of those who staged the coup, the January coup 1966, they were radicals, element, dead. Look at the life of Njogu, Cardinal Njogu. He was widely read with the school of Marxist philosophy, and he was vast in military history. So he was a radical socialist officer who wanted a change of government. He wanted a change of government. They wanted to clean up the government, the first republic, because they saw that that government of Baliwa was not working. It was not working. So they wanted to uproot it. So that was why Sadana was killed. Sadana was the leader of the party, NPC, who stayed in Kaduna. Tafawa Balewa was the prime minister who controlled the apparatus at the federal level. So Anuyo wanted to change this rotten apparatus. So they became targets. Two of them became targets of the revolutionaries.
You also made the point in your first book,
Yes.
that it was not an Igbo coup.
No, it's not an Igbo coup. It's not an Igbo coup. Because I disagree with those people who have been lying that Ujogu coup was an Igbo coup. Some of them are even arguing that because only Ademoyega, Major Ademoyega, who is a Yoruba major, if not the whole 8 of them, were, that was the premise they look at it from. And it was a wrong premise. You see, a revolution is a revolution. Whether people are from the same place, provided you have the same.
Here we come in a bit. Where is wounded civilian? I say, come on this program and defend yourself. Because your days of lies and deceive and blackmail against Igbos have come to an end. Your days of lies, those days you are lying, deceiving your gullible followers, today will be their end. They will all deceive sense. The man speaking is not an Igbo man. It's not from the south. It's from the north. He participated on the war. You hear the stories. And he said that coup, 1960, was a revolution, change of powers, because of the state of Nigeria then, because of the high corrupt politicians. And the North, they want to have the power in the West. They are backing Akintoye against Awolowo. They are corrupt, a lot of them. This was what leads to that coup to save Nigeria. And guess what? They turn around to blackmail Igbos. They turn around and say it was Igbo coup that lead millions of massacre of Igbos in the north. And it led to the civil war that millions lost their life. This is Mazi Ezumezu Nwekwensu. As I welcome you to this wonderful edition, please welcome others. It's very important. Wounded civilian, where are you? Come up. Come up. Your days of lie and blackmailing is up. We are going to debunk all your shenanigans and other ones, other people. Their days are numbered on this issue. Let's continue listening to this man, Peter Sani Su. You know, it's very important.
Mind to remove those in power, it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all. I don't agree with those people who tag Unzogo revolution as Igbo revolution.
You know, some would say that the killings were targeted towards certain regions, why another region was excluded from the killings. And if you look at the region that was excluded from the killing, the eastern region, most of the officers that carried out that coup came from that region or close to it. So they have defined that coincidence as an Igbo coup.
Not even coincidence. You can't say it's coincidence.
Okay.
It's reality. Revolutionary wanted to change the government. Who were the people who were holding the apparatus of the government? The ruling class, the ruling party. Salana was the head of the party. He stayed in Kaduna. He want to change that government without eliminating Salana. Do you think that government that coup will succeed? That was why they became target of the revolutionaries.
What about Akintola?
Akintola was, yes, Akintola. You see what happened was that they made an alliance with the party of Akintola. That was, I was telling that the ruling party wanted to extend the coup to capture power in the West. And it deteriorated to crisis, serious crisis. See, so Western region became a problematic region that must be dealt with. The Prime Minister, Tafawa Balewa, who
Can you hear him saying it? Mazi Ezumezu, we don't lie, we don't blackmail people. We tell the truth. We tell the truth. I told you guys that what led to this young major to take up, to change the government was the corruption in this political line in Nigeria. I mentioned at Akintola and Awolowo. Today, a northern man is confirming what I said. It's there. It's on media. It's for those of you who don't want to make a research. It's not hidden, but you decided to listen to gossip because of the hate of you guys have on Igbos, because of the AV you have on Igbos, like people like Wounded Civilian and the rest of them. Today, your lies has been uprooted. Today, we are debunking all your lies. Igbos cause this, Igbos cause this, Igbos change government. Today, a northern man is telling us the Lord truth. What many of us have been saying for years. And he participated on the war. It's 77 years. Let's continue.
Supposed to use his power to quell John in the West, refused.
Hela hans mattebok är full med astronauter och planeter.
So when you came up, they wanted to bring peace in the Western region, even when they are talking about Igbo coup, I always laugh at them. When you say that it was an Igbo coup, who was the person who was the mark to become the prime minister? Was it Okpara in the east? Was it Adikiwe, who had no power, who was a titular president general? It was Awolowo from the west. Then what type of interest the revolutionary wanted to protect? If they call it an Igbo coup, picking somebody from the west to become the prime minister. So they had a national interest, an Igbo interest at all.
You sound as if Nzogu is your hero.
Yes, he's my hero. He's my hero. Up till now, he's my hero. He's my hero.
Otsoja, you're saying that?
Yes. If he's not a hero, he's a nationalist. Nzogu was a nationalist to the core. You see, people, all these politicians are talking from their both sides of their mouth. When Nzogu was killed in July 1967, around the campus in the night by 21 Battalion under Captain Wushishi. They recognized his body and they informed Gowon, ordered them to remove the body to Kaduna for a befitting burial, national burial. He was given that national honor. Nzogu was given that national honor. So he was a hero. And when people talk about Igbo coup, I always laugh at them.
If you are interested in understanding the Nzogu, I am recommending this book to you, Nzogu by Olusegun Obasanjo. It seems to be the only one who has taken time to give us a biography of Kaduna Nzogu. So this is one book that is revealing about the person of Nzogu. And Warrant Officer Peter Salifu, retired, seems to admire Nzogu a lot. So you can get this book.com on udarabooks.com, or you can order it through our WhatsApp numbers. So the numbers are on the screen. The Nzogu coup led to a counter coup.
Yes.
The counter coup was followed by a pogrom.
The program.
And your second book, entitled The Holocaust of the Nigerian Biafra War, it dwells on that Holocaust.
Yes.
But on the pogrom in chapter 2.
Yes.
You make the point that you identified the officers. Holocaust of the Nigerian Biafra War, it dwells on that Holocaust.
Yes.
But on the pogrom in chapter 2.
Yes.
You make the point that you titled the Holocaust of the Nigerian Biafra War, it dwells on that Holocaust.
Yes.
But on the pogrom in chapter 2.
Yes.
You make the point that you identified the officers that led the counter coup.
Yeah.
Muhammadu Buhari was one of them.
Hey, Muhammad Babangida.
Abacha.
Yes.
The counter coup was followed by a pogrom.
The program.
And your second book, entitled The Holocaust of the Nigerian Biafra War, it dwells on that Holocaust.
Yes.
But on the pogrom in chapter 2.
Yes.
You make the point that you identified the officers that led the counter coup.
Yeah.
Muhammadu Buhari was one of them.
Hey, Muhammad Babangida.
Babangida,
Abacha,
Murtala Muhammad,
T.Y. Danjuma.
and some of them eventually became heads of states.
4 of them.
Is there something special about the caliber of that team?
If you examine that coup and the enthronement of these people as head of state, military head of state, you realize that these people were the people who entrenched ethnicity into Nigerian politics.
How do you mean?
Yes. Right from there, if you look at Buhari regime, there's no doubt that you can call that regime anti-ethnicity. He encouraged ethnicity and other vices. You see, that is why if you look closely, the Murtala Muhammad coup and how 4 of them became head of the military government in Nigeria subsequently, they wanted to protect their own interests, not the interest of the masses. Not the interest of the masses. And
not the interest of the North?
Not the interest of the North. Well, which North? Look at how they left the North in chaos. How many of them became president of this country from northern part of the country? Look at the poverty there, at alarming rate. Look at the insecurity in the North, the banditry, the Boko Haram, and maybe probably a week ago they said they have discovered another group again from Sokoto.
Yeah.
Coming up again. Go to North. We rule, our people govern for almost 20-something years. But what have we gotten from the North? Poverty and squalor. Abject poverty in the North. Nothing.
You live in the North.
I still live in the North.
You came all the way
from the North
to Ibadan. For this interview.
Yes. Despite my age of being 77 years old.
Why were you so interested?
I know, because I want to correct those errors. A lot of people are talking so much in the social media, trying to thwart or to distort history. They wanted to distort history. So I want to put down the truth of the matter.
You make the argument that the counter coup led to the civil war.
Yes.
You've also said that the counter coup was a revenge coup to Ibadan. For this interview.
Yes. Despite my age of being 77 years old.
Why were you so interested?
I know, because I want to correct those errors. A lot of people are talking so much in the social media, trying to thwart or to distort history. They wanted to distort history. So I want to put down the truth of the matter.
You make the argument that the counter coup led to Ibadan. For this interview.
Yes. Despite my age of being 77 years old.
Why were you so interested?
I know, because I want to correct those errors. A lot of people are talking so much in the social media, trying to thwart or to distort history. They wanted to distort history. So I want to put down the truth of the matter.
You make the argument that the counter coup led to the civil war.
Yes.
You've also said that the counter coup was a revenge coup.
Sir, may Chukwu Kikabiyama bless you. May Chukwu Kikabiyama, Peter Sani, may Chukwu Kikabiyama bless you. Desmond Obilo, may Chukwu Kikabiyama bless you guys. You hear what the man said, the ex-soldier said. He said a lot of people want to change history. You can hear the noise on social media. People like wounded civilian and the rest of them. They want to thwart the history. They want to change the history. They want to call the good guy the bad guy. Call the bad guy the good guy. And this man live. He live in the north. He traveled all the way from the north to the west, Ibadan, for this interview. Just to keep the Lagos straight. Wounded civilian. This man is not an Igbo man. He's still living in the north. He's still living in the north. That's why I told you your lies, your blackmail have come to an end. Your lies and your blackmail have come to an end. I know you are so ashamed of yourself tonight. You are so ashamed of yourself. You can't withstand the truth, the gospel truth. And that is why MK legal team also backing it up with on law, with evidence. Anyone who want to tie this key on Igbo Q, he will contend them in the courts. He will come and prove it, how it's an Igbo Q. May Chukwu Okike abịa ma bless Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. I want to bless Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ebe ka ya Kanu today. May Chukwu Okike abịa ma bless him. Like I said, onye ndu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu is in another mission. In another mission. And people will say that onye ndu is absent. Absent of where? Ọ ga-abịa gị ka ọ ga-abịa ikwu nne gị ka ọ ga-ikwu nna gị ka ọ nọ na be gị. Absent from where? It's another journey. Kono. Another different journey. Kono. Let's continue listening to this man. Let's continue listening to this great program.
Yeah, you remain cool.
That means to every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Yes.
The counter coup was a reaction to the January coup.
Yes.
So if you are saying the counter coup led to the civil war, will I be right to also say that because the January coup led to the counter coup, so the civil war can also be linked to the January coup?
Yeah, but how can you link it? The counter coup to January coup. They had their own interests at heart.
Because the counter coup came because there was a January coup.
But look at the killings. Look at the killings. Look at the killings. The counter coup, the target of the counter coup were the ruling class, 2 civilians from the north. 2 civilians from the north. Amadou Bello, who was the premier of the northern region and the party leader, MPC, and the Tafawa Balewa was the prime minister, were killed. Then if you come to Lagos, where there was Mama Larry, Palm, defending the interests of the government at the center. They were taken out too. Then only Lagema, Lieutenant Colonel Lagema, the 4th Battalion commander at Ibadan, was equally killed because he was defending Akitola, that trouble Western region. That was why Lagema was taken out too. But look at that.
Colonel Onegbe was also killed.
Onegbe because of maybe he was a quartermaster general. Maybe he was having conflict with the revolutionaries.
So an Igbo officer was killed.
An Igbo officer was killed. How do you say about that?
So the counter coup did not just target leadership.
No.
It targeted the people.
The people concerned at the upper echelon of the army.
There was massacre in Abeokuta.
There was massacre. Why I'm saying this, if you compare the coup, the January revolution, with Mohammed Murtala coup of July 29, 1960, you see a disparity here.
In your second book, you said the January coup was ideological.
Ideological, because the January 1966 coup, led by Major Kaduna Njogu, was with ideology and focus. They were having ideology and focus. And they were having a direction to take, path to take. But if you look at July 1966 coup, they had no ideology and focus. The coup was there to revenge.
Obasanjo, in this book, My Command, described the killings in the counter coup as senseless killings.
Yes, senseless killing. I describe it in my own new book too.
In chapter 2?
In chapter 2.
Because you quoted this book?
Yes, I quoted this book.
Why did you go for this book?
Because I'm just telling the truth. Telling the truth. That many people don't want to hear. He stated the truth here.
Are you recommending this book to people?
Yes, for history purpose.
Okay.
For history purpose.
The title of this book is My Command, an account of the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970. A book written by Olusegun Obasanjo, My Command. It will help you understand where we are coming from. You can order your copy from udarabooks.com. Obasanjo said that the killings in the counter coup were senseless. Army officers of Igbo origin were killed in Abeokuta, in Ikeja.
3 of them.
In the north. And northerners and military officers then went to town. And Igbos were targeted. That was what you saw.
Yes.
In Kaduna. Igbo men and women were killed. Even children. That's what you call the pogrom.
Yes.
And because of the pogrom, there was war. Yes. In 1967, you joined the Nigerian army.
Yes.
After you have witnessed the pogrom, you joined the Nigerian army during wartime.
Yes.
When did you realize that it was a pogrom? Was it before you joined the army? Or after you have left the army?
I saw everything. I was a living witness. Then after the war, I decided to write my book.
Why did you join the army to fight Biafra?
To keep Nigeria one. That was the slogan to us. That was the slogan to us. There was no any other slogan rather than to keep Nigeria one.
So by the time you were joining the army, you believed that the Igbo nation was wrong?
Anyway, but later on I discovered that they were not wrong. You know, I was in the trench for 20 months, fighting day and night. 20 months without being posted to the rear. Or transferred from the trench until the end of the war. And I saw how the Biafrans were determined with zeal to fight us. They were fighting for survival. Even it came to a point in 1969 when a lot of soldiers realized that the war was fruitless. It's not the war that the only people were being killed in the war front. And those who caused the war were not affected. people started to inflict themselves with injury till the end of the war. And I saw, later on, I discovered that they were not wrong. You know, I was in the trench for 20 months, fighting day and night. 20 months without being posted to the rear. Or transferred from the trench until...
There is, I want to talk here. I want you guys to listen. You will hear the hard question asked by Desmond Obilo to him. He said to him, when do you realize that Biafrans are not the cause? Because he joined Nigerian army, he joined Nigeria government to fight against Biafra. And asked him why. He said because they told them to unite Nigeria. That Nigeria cannot be divided. That Nigeria must be one. He said that is the slogan they're using. And believe me, do you know that it's Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, Olamadike ndị Igbo, that destroy that slogan, Nigeria must be one. It's Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Remember when the so-called Buhari is telling you guys that Nigeria cannot be negotiated. It cannot negotiate Nigeria, no. Then when nobody can be bold enough and pronounce Biafra, it was the coming of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Mazin Kanu said, no, Nigeria we can negotiate Nigeria. We can be on land table, talk about Nigeria. Buhari buy a lot of people thinking that buying will stop it. But today, the more you buy people, the more you buy Igbos, the more you buy Biafrans, the more people are coming up asking for Biafra restoration, asking for Biafra freedom. Mr. Peter said they were told that Nigeria can never be divided. That is why people like him went into that war to defend Nigeria, to fight for Nigeria, to be one unity. And at the end, they asked him again, are you proud of what you did? You guys will hear the reply. He said, no. He said he discovered the truth. He discovered the truth. And said, no, he cannot die with this truth. But look at Gowon. Look at Gowon. On his old age, he's still lying. He's still lying. Gowon, on his old age, he's still lying. I will play a video from Gowon. You guys will listen. He's still lying. Let's continue.
To the end of the war. And I saw how the Biafrans were determined with zeal to fight us. They were fighting for survival. Even it came to a point in 1969 when a lot of soldiers realized that the war was fruitless. It's not the war that only the ordinary people were being killed in the war front. And those who caused the war were not affected. People started to inflict themselves with injury to be taken to the rear. But until Obasanjo came to save the situation and ended the war. If not, and I believe I stated in my book there how Biafrans surrender. It was not much of our firepower or anything. It was hunger. It was hunger. It was hunger. Because when we block the Cameroon border through road, Calabar, and we block Port Harcourt through air, Biafra was not having any access to outside world through air, through water, through land. So they were in a desperate situation by then, and they were affected by hunger. I think that factor alone affected the people, the Biafran soldiers on the battlefield. You see, and one thing I jealous Biafran here, I stated in my book, when they were blocked and they were not having access to either weapon from outside world or food, they went into a drawing board, called all their scientists, and they started to produce locally their own weapon. They confronted us for almost 1 year and some days, because we were rejoicing that after the blockade, the Biafran would give up, but they did not give us. They produced their own weapon to confront us. And I reminded Nigeria that they could have harnessed the resources, human resources, the scientific evolution that took place in Biafra to shape the scope of our military department.
In your book, you mentioned Biafran armored vehicle called Red Devil.
Red Devil.
You saw it in action.
They confronted more than it was a monster, a dangerous monster.
Locally built.
Locally built. And it can be compared with the one we imported from Britain and other European countries.
This was in the 60s.
Yes, in the 60s. They developed this. Not that one alone. What about the rocket launcher? They developed it locally. What of the mines that maimed so many of our soldiers, killed so many of our soldiers?
You witnessed the dangers of Ogbunigwe.
Ogbunigwe. I think the sad moment I had, the death of one of my company 2IC called Lieutenant Okpere. You see, when we were advancing towards Afan Power House from Umagwai on the main road, that one was on the top of the mines, and they blew it. It scattered the lieutenant. You see, all his flesh was mangled. No single part of his body could be identified to be buried. You see? So to tell you how dangerous that mine was, killed so many of our soldiers. Killed so many, and it prolonged the war. What about the grenade? The hand grenade. They produced it. Never could put. I could remember the fight at Aba Waterside, where they were putting chemical in a bottle and threw to us. Killed so many of our soldiers. That was the innovation.
You remember the crossing of Imo River?
Yes. That was the saddest moment of my life on the battlefield.
Can you tell me about it?
It was horrible. It was horrible. It was that time, Biafra massacre.
Before the ex-soldier, the old soldier will explain this. Let me say something. Let me say something. You can see what he said. What he said at Nigeria government, that he told them to harness the potential of the Biafra scientists. That when there is blockade against Biafrans, they think that is all. And Biafra went back on drawing board. Bring the scientists, Biafra scientists, Igbos. They started producing their locally made weapon against the Western one. They produce Ubonigwe, produce the grenades, produce tank. You can hear what he said about that tank. It was powerful. He called it monster. He called the tank monster. And do you know that after the Civil War, just because of the hate on Igbos, the Nigerian government decided to, most of the scientists, to go after them to eliminate them one by one. Some of them went into exile, ran into exile. But you know what? Those scientists then, their spirit is in us. It's not about education. It's not about Western education. No. Their spirit is in us. It's a blessing from Chukwu Okike Abiama. Nigeria decided to go against the scientists and scatter them. That's why in Nnamdi Azikiwe University today, University of Nigeria and Nsukka, there's some courses that was banned in that school up to date. There was some courses that was banned just because of most of the scientists came from that school. Then they put themselves together and produce hardware, produce weapon against Nigeria government and the rest of the world. Then I wonder some people will be talking about war, threatening Igbos, that Igbos are not in there, no. And if you look at these people that threaten Igbos, they're not up to one local government. But Biafra's Igbos will withstand Nigeria government for 3 years and the rest of the world. Russia, France, UK, America, Egypt. All those Muslims will stand there for 3 years. And just common people, it's not up to a local government. Not up to a local government will be threatening Igbo people. I look at them, I laugh. You have never been to war. You are threatening the people that have been to war. People that have seen it all. People that fought, produced their own weapon, engaged Nigeria government and the rest of the world for 3 good years upon hunger. And you are rubbing your mouth. Yeah, we are this. We will chase them out. We do this. We do. I look at them. I laugh. They are our brothers. The people like wounded civilians and the rest of them. You think you can withstand Igbos. But the fact is that we see you guys as our brothers. You guys are not our problem. You guys are not our problem. guys are not our problem. Everything you guys will just end on social media. At the end of the day, we'll come here to debunk it. Today, about people are talking about equally. Who is president of Oranese Igbo today? Who is the president of Oranese Igbo today? There are two of them. Two of them. One from the governor's side. Second from the people from Oranese group. Suche. Ukuku is from River State, from Ikwele. The other one from the governors, also from Ikwele, a senator, Mbatak or what? All those noise on social media, where is it? But we're here to tell you guys the truth. We shall debunk all those lies. Thank you, Mr. Peter. Let's continue listening to him.
Our soldiers. You see, when we took Aba, I think it was on 4th September 1968, then we were ordered to cross the Imo River. 37 Battalion was ordered to follow Ikotekpene Road to link up with 13th Brigade from Ikotekpene. 31 Battalion, under the command of Captain Issa, was commanded to follow Maya Road to link with the 1st Division. Even we were following them steadily, we pushed them as far as to St. Michael College. And we pinned down there. The second day saw the massive confrontation of Biafran against us. As early as 4 a.m., a machine gun from the Biafran direction beat a staccato rattle. How the Biafran managed to infiltrate our defensive line was a surprise thing to us. They covered the whole rear, they encircled us with a tickling of an eye. They were confronting us fiercely. And then they forced us to withdraw to Aba waterside. That was where we were killed lemurs. They were killing us. I think half of 37 battalion was sadly reduced to half of them. And then 31 battalion, the same thing happened to them. Almost 200 and something soldiers of the 31 battalion were killed. You see?
The way Nigerian troops also demolished Biafrans in Bonny. You also encircled them in Bonny at some point.
But that one could not be compared with the loss we recorded at Aba waterside.
Was it complacency on the part of the Nigerian troops?
Well, I can't say. It could be.
When you remember the war, how do you feel?
It was sad. It was sad. I don't think such a thing will happen in this country again. I don't think any sensible person who witnessed the whole course of the war will talk about any war.
But some young persons are ready to fight again.
Nigeria. What about Nigeria itself? What about the politicians? Have they learned any lesson? It's sad, very sad indeed. Our politicians have never learned any lesson at all about the war. They have not learned any.
Politics led to the coup.
Yes.
Massive rigging of elections.
Of elections.
As we speak, we are still talking of rigging of elections.
It's even more than the First Republic. More than the First Republic. Vote doesn't count again. Now, the politicians who have money, the high bidder, They will rig an election and ask you to go to court. And our courts, the politicians, they have hijacked our courts today. It is the court that declare a person winner in a political contest. It's not the masses again, not the electorate. That's the sad aspect of it.
You are experiencing this as a 77-year-old man.
Yes.
And you are pained.
Very painful.
I mean, we don't learn from history.
We don't. We don't. And I have to remind Nigerians that there's no country that can survive 2 civil wars. It's going to be a destruction. It's going to be a destruction. They have to learn the lesson. They have to learn the lesson. And put aside even politics. They justify the means. They justify the means. Look at what the governors of this country are accumulating today. Yeah? In those days, we were hearing embezzlement of public funds in thousands, but today in billions. In billions. Probably, who knows, by tomorrow it will reach trillions of naira.
You know, Nzogu's Coup speech was talking about those who collect 10%.
10%.
Good for nothing VIP.
Yes.
And they got angry and struck.
They struck.
What do you see if this continues?
Well, to me, there are 2 options here to take. One could be Nigeria. We have to decide. If we don't want any revolution like Nzogu anymore, we have to decide to give leadership. We have to shift the leadership to the southeast. Leadership must be shifted to the southeast because the injustice is too glaring for everyone to see. Before we went to the war, we were having 3 regions. Igbo people were one of the largest ethnic race in Nigeria, Yoruba and Hausa. But look at the leadership role. The North have taken their fair share. Enough. The West have taken their fair share. Why? Why? Can Nigeria believe in Igbo leadership? And I'm saying it here. I want you to record it. Because maybe probably I will not be alive tomorrow because of my age. I'm saying here now that if Nigeria continue to deny leadership to Igbo people, then this country will not move forward. Will not move forward at all. Because we are having a race, an Igbo race, that are so intelligent, so industrious, so powerful. We saw them on the war front. We know what Igbo is. They are capable of developing the economy of this country. They are the only people that can develop the economy of this country. They have tested Yoruba, we tested the North. Let us test Igbo people. People say that the fear of Igbo domination. What are they going to dominate? What are they going to dominate? What about the small-scale businesses throughout the whole country? Igbo control it, the economy, and it will function very well. But if you are giving them a larger economy, they will develop it for the interest of this country. That is my belief. And I sincerely believe that if the mantle of leadership, political mantle of leadership is shifted to Igbo, within 4 years, the economy of this country will develop. Like Singapore, like Brazil, like India. That is my belief. That's my earnest opinion.
This is your faith in the Igbo nation.
Yes. I'm not an Igbo man. I'm not from the southeast. I'm not from the southwest. I'm from the north.
But Igbo politicians are part of the mess in Nigeria.
No, they are not. You have not given them the leadership.
But they are leading their states,
They
are they
were
not?
pushing leadership at the state level. No. We are talking about the development, the country development at this time.
But they say charity begins from home.
I don't know how to answer that. But we are talking about the leadership of this country. And the leadership should be seated to the Igbo people. So why the injustice? Why the injustice?
Peter Obi contested in the last election.
I don't know what was wrong with him. I don't know whether it was
democracy.
I don't know whether he was rejected by the electorate. You know what our electoral system is in this country. I don't know. I don't know.
Let's go back to the war. You fought with the 3rd Marine Commando.
Exactly.
Led by Colonel Benjamin
Adekunle.
Adekunle, the Black Scorpion.
Yes.
Why was he called the Black Scorpion?
Well, it was called, to me, from my own perspective, he was so ruthless. He was a ruthless GOC. And secondly, he was a fearless.
Let's interject before it takes us to another marathon exposition. Hear what he said. Another man from Kogi State. You hear what he said about Igbos. He said, give them the opportunities to rule that country, and they will turn that country to a great nation. And this is fact. This is the truth. But sir, it's too late now. It's too late. It's too late. A lot of people have died in this journey. A lot of people have died. A lot of people have died in this restoration of Biafra. We have crossed the Rubicon. We have crossed the point of no return. The only thing that we are demanding from the Nigerian government is release our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and give us a date of referendum. If we lose, we join. Then, what you say that give them the opportunity, okay, we accept it. But without referendum, every other thing is nonsense. We must vote if we want to be part of Nigeria or not. We must vote. For all those envy of Igbos, jealousy of Igbos, you guys are wasting time because the world know the truth. And you self, you know the truth. Igbo tribe is the biggest tribe that produce billionaire in the whole Africa. In Africa, Igbos, they are the biggest that produce billionaires. I'm not saying this because I'm an Igbo. If I'm not Igbo, I will still say the truth. What a soldier is telling you guys is the truth. But we have crossed the Rubicon. All we need is Biafra. All we need is this, Biafra. This is all we need. Release our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We have crossed the Rubicon. All the enemies of Igbos, our brethren from Benin, just calm down. Calm down. Just calm down and just be with your brother, and you will see the glory. You will receive the blessing. For years, all those fights All those blackmailers, did he lead you guys to anywhere? The answer is no. You can see the little one on TikTok. When some Igbo decided to respond, you can see the extent they go. And you guys are shaking. You guys are shaking. How about when entire Igbo come after you guys? Guess what will happen on media? But you guys are not our problem. Our problem is the Fulanese. Our problem is those that say Nigeria must be one. Not you guys. Let's continue listening to this man. And if you want to come in, I think write something on the chat. I have to put the link. So if you want to come, you can come in. We are live on various platforms. Believe me, this StreamYard is good. The money I spend is worth it, you know. I think this is $50 per month. We are live on TikTok, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. We are live. I told you guys that we are going to do what? Expand. I told you guys. We are not those that they are paying, no? We use our little one to contribute into Biafran installation. Today we have a powerful laptop. Microsoft. We don't ask what Biafran installation will give to us. We ask what we will give to Biafran installation to restore our nation back. We spend the little we have. Let's continue.
Less GOC that we ever had in that division. You see, Adekule, one thing about Adekule was that he was frequently seen on the battlefront in our trenches. He always demonstrated that skill on the battlefield. He was a fearless officer. See, most of the GOC that we had were not like him. He was so fearless indeed. But one thing with him was that he put fears into his own soldiers. He came to where Adekule was killing his own troops.
Let me read from your book.
Yes.
Chapter 5
Yes.
of your book, The Bloody Nigeria Biafra War.
Yes.
You said Colonel Benjamin Adekunle was the first GOC
Yes.
of the 3rd Marine Commando Division at the beginning of the war.
Exactly.
He was a pragmatic and fearless officer. He earned the nickname of a Black Scorpion to show how dreadful he was to his officers and men.
Amen, yes.
As a matter of fact, among the GOCs during the war, he was the most dreadful commander
Yes.
and courageous on the
On the
battlefield.
battlefield, yes.
He was frequently seen on the front line trenches.
Yes. Yes.
The colonel was believed to be a supernatural being, as bullets and bombs could not harm him. Supernatural.
Supernatural.
What do you mean by
We believe that Adekule was supernatural being. Because, in fact, we lay more ambushes to kill him, and he escaped.
Did you say that?
Yes, yes. We laid it. Even at Bonny,
You wanted to kill
I was among those people who lay ambush for him.
You wanted to kill your commander?
Yes, because he was so reckless indeed.
And some of you wanted him out?
Yes, even at Aba.
Tell me more. You planned to take Benjamin Adekunle out of the war?
Yes, yes, yes. Because of his recklessness. You see, what happened was that Adekunle killed his own soldier whimsically, without justification.
What would make him take out his own soldier?
We don't know. He was so dreadful indeed. And He became very reckless, ruthless. In fact, he was so ruthless.
You said,
Soldiers were not happy about him, although he was courageous. He was courageous. But the way he was killing people in the frontline places was alarming.
you said his instruction was a decree in itself,
Yes,
where nobody dared to disobey,
yes,
as doing so would send the person to his round grave unprepared.
yes.
The colonel had the reputation of killing his own troops whimsically
Yes.
and without justification. He was considered a supernatural being, indeed a god, in the eyes of the officers
Yes.
and men in the division.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, the colonel was an iron knot nobody could untie.
Nobody. Because the army headquarters in Lagos, and go on, the head of state, could not tame him. They became helpless. They could not tame him. He became power drunk.
You called him a dictator.
A dictator. Nobody could tame. Nobody. Army headquarters could not tame him. Gowon could not tame him. He was misbehaving like that.
Was he paying you your full salary?
No, he didn't. That was the painful aspect. It was Obasanjo who came to help us. Adekule was paying us £5 out of our £19. Because a private soldier was paid £19 by then. For over 1.5 years, we were in the trench. He didn't pay us our full salary.
Did you request for your full salary?
We wrote petition to go on, complain to go on, without no avail. It was Obasanjo who came to help us and started to pay us our full salary. And that ginger, the soldiers, whose morale went down to the lowest.
But this was Adekunle that captured Port Harcourt. Secured the river areas.
We know. In fact, Adekunle, I don't know.
It was a top military strategist.
Look at what happened. I believe, I don't know. He pushed us to cross to Afikpo. I think I mentioned there.
Yeah.
We embarked on a very dangerous amphibious operation. 1 mile away of water. With canoe, this local boat. We crossed in the dead midnight, 1 a.m. 2 battalions, 3 barracks. And that line was not the responsibility of the 3rd Marine Commando to capture. It was the responsibility of the 1st Division, who were advancing from Okigwe side and Unewi side to capture Afikpo. But they shifted the responsibility to us. He forced us to cross. And what happened? We lost so many of our soldiers at the Afikpo waterside. Before we were withdrawn from that operation. You see?
Can you remember what happened between him and Shaibu?
Shaibu was our hero. He was our hero. Without him, the 3 Marine Commando Division could have been a toothless bulldog.
Without him?
Without Shaibu. Most of the operation was done by Shaibu. They were pushing us all over the place. He was the leading battalion. He was the commander of the leading battalion.
So why did Benjamin Adekunle try to kill him?
Yes, I could remember in 1969, early 1969, when we withdrew from St. Michael College along my 9, along that Ikotekune road, because of the Biafran bombardment. You see, they gained upper hand on us, and we have to withdraw. because we were not having enough ammunition to fight. So Shaibu ordered us to withdraw, and we crossed to Aba. And then on the third day, the brigade commander, Major Aliu, the 12th brigade commander, Major Aliu, was standing at the upstairs. And Shaibu was guarded by the military police. So he quickly seized their gun to shoot Lieutenant Colonel Aliu, Major Aliu. Then the military police guided him, were so smart, they removed the magazine. His intention was to kill him.
Why?
We don't know.
So they were infighting
among the officers. So the third day, Major Aliu took him to Adekule court martial. It's a one-man court martial. Adekule court martial. Because if you have been taken to Adekule court martial, I don't think you return alive. Most of 90-something% who have gone to Adekule court martial, they were killed. They were executed. So this man was there, and on the day they wanted to execute him, he was brought among the officers. There were majors, Biafran officers too, who were to be executed too, with our own soldiers, our officers. Then when he came to Shaibu, he was taunting him, yelling at him. He told him that you led those soldiers who ambushed him at Bonny, and you wanted to kill him.
And it's true.
And it's true, because I was part of it. I was part of the ambush. So he said you were going to die today.
How did he know that he was ambushed?
He had an intelligent something. He has intelligence. He has intelligence. His intelligence is all over the place. You see? So he said nothing would save Shaibu that day. He spoke Igala language fluently.
Shaibu was an Igala man.
Shaibu was an Igala man.
Like you.
Like me. And Adekule spoke Igala fluently because he's school in Igala land. Then Shaibu told him that his armament, all the weapon, let him go and mobilize all the weapon. That he had no power to kill him. So Adekule was so furious, he was so angry indeed, and then he seized a pistol and came very close to Shaibu and pointed the pistol muzzle at his forehead and then shot Shaibu.
He pressed the trigger?
Yes, he wanted to kill him immediately because he was shocked for an officer to talk to him like that. He was shocked. He was totally shocked. This is his subordinate of the highest order. A lieutenant to talk to a colonel in that order. He was shocked.
During wartime?
During wartime. So he wanted to finish Shaibu. And what happened was miraculous. You see, I was a living witness. When he shot that rifle, that pistol, the canister of the bullet fell down lazily on the ground without hitting Shaibu. Then he was annoyed again, tried the second time, the same thing happened. Then he threw the pistol away and started to slap Shaibu because Shaibu his hand was tied behind his back with wire. So he fell down, kick him for several minutes, and then he asked him to be untied. Then when he untied, he shook Shaibu. He said, "This man is an officer. He's a courageous officer. He's a good officer. You are promoted to captain." That was how Shaibu Ibunu was promoted to captain, and he was posted to 17th Battalion, operating from Ahoda Agis. That ended the war.
So why did the bullet not kill him?
We don't know. You know, human diabolical something. I don't know.
So some of you during the wartime had diabolical means.
Yeah, diabolical means. Diabolical means. Because there was no diabolical. I don't know how Shaibu could survive that attack. I don't know. I don't know.
He also survived an
It wa-
Ogbunigwe attack.
It's in my book there.
Yes.
You see, that was the second time he survived. You know, when we were withdrawn from Afikpo after the failed attempt at Afikpo, where our soldiers were massively killed, they withdrew us to Port Harcourt sector of the war at Bori. And that Bori Agis was another tough Agis that Biafrans were fighting our soldiers severely. So they drafted Saibu there, and we were advancing from Afampa, Umagbai, a village called Umagbai, in our attempt to recapture Powerhouse. Then suddenly, on the main road, there was a bomb blast. Saibu had already stepped on the bomb. Then the bomb blew up.
I don't like war.
With heavy smoke, covered the whole place. Then we lost hope of his survival. Someone lost hope of his survival because nobody, no human being could survive that bomb.
2IC was with him.
And the 2IC was with him. So when the dust of the smoke of the bomb blast settled down, then we started to see somebody like Shaibu in a deep hole where this bomb struck. Then Shaibu was standing and he ordered us not to stop firing. Then we stopped firing. We say, was it a ghost? Surprisingly, we saw Shaibu standing in the hole, survive with my naked eyes. I've never seen that type of miracle.
What happened to his 2IC?
2IC, Second Lieutenant Okwere, they called him from the Midwest. Okwere was his second command. That bomb blast shattered him into pieces.
And they were together?
Yeah, they were together, very close together. Mashed into pieces. We could not see any of his flesh to be buried. It was mangled, all his body was mangled into flesh. You see?
War is bad.
Had a war, but I started to wonder how a bomb could destroy a human being so badly as that man was. We couldn't see any part of his body that we can bury, but Shaibu survived that Holocaust. He survived it.
So there must have been something extraordinary
I don't
about
know.
him.
I don't. Maybe it could be by God's grace. I don't know, or any other means.
In your book, you said Benjamin Adekule was instructed to ensure firm control on the continental shelf of Nigeria.
Yes.
In order to effect firm seaward economic blockade.
Yes.
On the Biafran enclave.
Enclave.
You said here that the general outline of the military plan was to disembark on Bonny Beach to the north of the town and to quickly block the northern flag towards the coastal areas in order to prevent any reinforcement from the Biafran forces.
Yes.
And that division won the war.
Yes. It was that brought Biafran to their knees. In fact, it was if Biafran knew that strategy to block them and put a fierce fight, well, the war could have been fiercer than this. Because he made us to advance from Calabar after we disembarked from the sea, from the ship. We started to operate very closely, capture the airport, capture whole world, the cement industry in Calabar, to Anegege, to Oban, Rubber Estate. We pursued them, put them on the run. until we reach Cameroon border. Then we even advanced up to 12 miles away, driving them. Some of them melted into the forest. And then we blocked that road. The naval ship blocked the other side at Oron. So there was no way the Biafrans could get their supply. And we blocked them. That contributed to their surrender.
You remember Alabi Sama?
Yeah, Alabi Sama, yes, I know him.
He was very close to Benjamin Adekunle.
Yes, they have the same feather.
Of the same feather? How do you mean?
Well, so I read his book. He was challenging Olusegun Obasanjo.
This book, right?
Yes, I read it. He was challenging Obasanjo so much that Obasanjo did not contribute to the downfall of Biafra, that it was he and Adekunle who plotted the strategy. But did they end the war? Did they end the war? When I read this book, I was asking myself, did they end he and Adekunle? Did they end the war?
But they plotted the strategy.
They plotted the strategy. Yes, I agree with them. That did not end the war. Because Adekunle and Alabi Sama believe in the equipment, not the human resources. They did not take us as.
What do you mean by that?
Yes, because there was no welfare of the soldiers in the trench. No welfare of the soldiers. They did not pay attention to the welfare of the soldiers in the trench. They thought that military equipment, gun and everything could win the war easily. And they did not regard the soldiers in the trench.
Are you saying Isama?
Yes, Isama, yes. He was there with Adekunle.
He was Adekunle's man.
Yes, he was Adekunle's man. Right hand man. I think he was the staff officer in the Adekunle division there at the headquarters.
You see, this big book that he wrote, some have described it as one of the most authoritative work in Nigerian Biafran war. All the strategies were here, the pictures.
Which strategy? The strategy can be peaceful. What about those who are implementing the strategy?
So
he forgot about the ordinary soldiers in the trench.
You seem to have some grounds to settle with Isama.
I'm not criticizing him anyway. But you were talking about plotting strategy, beautiful strategy. When I read his book, you plotted a strategy without the implementation of that strategy. And who are to implement it? The ordinary soldiers in the trench. And you don't care about their welfare. That was why the war was prolonged. It came to a level, I told you before, from our first discussion, I said the war was prolonged because I did not pay attention to the welfare of the soldiers.
I got at some point, the soldiers protested.
They protested that they were not going to fight. Around early 1969. And when we refused to move, what happened? Most of the soldiers, especially my own soldiers, they were inflicting themselves self-injury. So because they taken to the rear, the morale of the soldiers fell down to the lowest ebb. But when Obasanjo came, he changed that status.
We'll talk about Obasanjo. Now, we are also recommending this book to you. We are also recommending this book to you by Alabi Sama, The Tragedy of Victory. Alabi Sama's story of the tragedy of victory, on the spot account of the Nigeria-Biafra War in the Atlantic Theater. It's one of the biggest books on the war. It contains a lot of pictures, diagrams of the military strategies, letters, different publications. It is quite detailed.
Tills döden skiljer oss åt, sa han med evig trohet, typ. Vi säger, vi finns här när du vill räkna på bolån. Välkommen till Länsförsäkringars bank.
Trött och sliten hela tiden. Känn dig äldre än du är. Detta kan bero på dina testosteronnivåer. For Him Testo Balance är ett krafttillskott för män med 4 effekter. Testosteron, energi, lust och muskler. Prova i en månad för 199 kronor på forhim.se.
You get the book on udarabooks.com. udarabooks.com. You get a book on udarabooks.com. Or you can order through our WhatsApp numbers. So it's one of the books on the Biafran War. Another book on the Biafran War is this one, entitled Biafran News, Biafra in the News, the Nigerian Civil War Scene from a London news desk. Biafra in the News, the Nigerian Civil War Scene from a London news desk. A book written by Jonathan Derrick. Jonathan Derrick is the author of this book. It is revealing. You get this book on udarabooks.com. udarabooks.com. We are talking about the military. Look at this archival book. I always call it archival because you can't find a new print anymore. Military Leadership in Nigeria, 1966 to 1979. It's a book written by Major General James Ulule. Military Leadership in Nigeria, 1966 to 1979. Classic. When you say classic, it is classic. You can get this on darabooks.com. I have recommended my command to you by Olusegun Obasanjo. Mike Obasanjo came and ended the war.
Yes.
Obasanjo brought fresh air to the war front.
Yes, exactly.
It was a relief.
Yes, with new tactics.
Adekunle was removed.
Yes.
Why was he removed?
I know it was between him, the conflict between him and the head of state. I don't know. I don't know why he was removed.
And when he was removed, the soldiers were happy?
Yes. We're jubilated. We're jubilating in the trench.
You were jubilating?
Jubilating all over the place. We're jubilating. Because somebody who refused to pay us our salary for 1.5 years, they were giving us £5 out of £19. Up till now, some of us who survived that war narrowly have not seen anything.
Was he saving the money?
He said they were saving the money.
So after the war,
we did not get anything. We did not get anything. We did not get anything. Buhari, who was the head of state, and other people who came to be head of the military government, did not pay attention to us. We lost that money. That contributed to the slowdown of our movement in 1969. Maybe that was what the news that got, the intelligence news that information that got to go on before it was changed. I don't know.
To bring to the war front.
Abajojo brought so many things. He brought so many things. Immediately he came, he created a recreational place at Bori camp near Port Harcourt for soldiers to be taken from the trench and rest for about 10 days. As an author of this book, I was one of them who enjoyed that facility.
And you needed that rest?
Yes. And they did not give us any rest. Until you see that the soldier perished in the trench. But our day was magnanimous indeed. that you cannot fight the war with equipment alone. The welfare of the soldiers must be taken care of. So he took us there to rest 10 days, and then immediately he started to pay us our full salary. Immediately he assumed office. He started to pay us our full salary. And then there were changes in the front lines.
You said Colonel Olusegun Obasanjo was posted
Yes.
to the 3rd Marine Commando Division of the Nigerian Army as the new GOC
Yes.
in the middle of June 1969.
Yeah.
He was a man in terms of military operations.
I call him that.
Colonel Obasanjo was also a humane commander
Very, very.
who commanded his troop with human face and not a military dictator like Colonel Adekunle.
Yes, yes.
It will be recalled that before Colonel Obasanjo was posted to this division, the morale of the fighting troops fell to the lowest ebb.
Yes.
The fighting troops were not willing to fight the war any longer, as a great number of them were inflicting themselves with injuries to avoid the war front.
Yes.
This was why soldiers in the frontline trenches staged several protests with the slogan, "No pay, no fight."
No fight. No fight.
And you got your pay.
And then we got happy.
And you continued the fight.
So, yes.
And you won the war.
Well, we won the war. We won the war. But one incident occurred that that I will not forget. You see, when Adekunle was posted to us, and he was touring the front line trenches.
Or when Obasanjo was posted.
When Obasanjo was posted to us, and he was touring the trenches of the 12th Brigade at Aba, Pogbo Hill. He came to the trench where we were, and we quickly planned to take him out.
To take him out?
Yes, we wanted to ambush him. We said maybe he will take the direction of Adekunle, not knowing that he was the person who was coming to help the soldiers to achieve so many things. You see, at that point, that ambush, we were ready with rocket launcher. I think I was supervising it closely because the disciple gave me that instruction. But he was with us there. So I was with
the rebel in that camp.
Yes. We removed the muzzle of our gun, the AK-47, to shoot. And when you remove that AK-47 muzzle, it will sound like Biafran guns, rifle.
I see.
The sound. So we stage managed that, then we were hoping that the Biafran were attacking. Then the colonel, I think the colonel was running up and down there, and then Shaibu made another to and asked us to dismantle the ambush, and that we should try him first. So we left him. That was how he was saved. You know, he could have been eliminated there.
So
but this is the man who came to help us. He was a humane soldier and officer who helped us and facilitate the collapse of Biafra. And we rested. Within 6 months, the war was over.
So Obasanjo deserved his medal?
Well, no. He was a man. He was my man. He was my man.
Is he still your man?
We were trying to take a round decision against him. We thought he was like a you see, not knowing that he was an astute soldier.
I want to say something just a minute. You can see what the 8th soldier said because of the way Adekunle threatened treat them, not paying their salary, not taking care of the welfare of the soldiers. It doesn't concern him. And they wanted to take him out. They tried, but he survived. He survived it. Then when they brought Obasanjo in, they thought Obasanjo is under Adekunle, and they wanted to take him out. And at the end, the man who is in charge gave them order to dismantle the ambush. See, the point I want to make here is that, can you now connect the dots? How Adakabolo was by. Can you now connect the dots? How Adakabolo was by. When we told you that it was the same Nigerian soldiers that Adakabolo helped against his own people, they buy him too. Biafran soldier did not buy Adakabolo. It was the same Nigerian soldier that buy him too. Maybe a day will come, we will see a clear picture of how Isaac Dakabolo died during the war. Let's continue. They would.
Some have said that soldiers from the Middle Belt really fought at war.
Yes, we fought. Middle Belt, Jukun, Godo in the south, in the northeast, where we taught.
So you were more in number?
Yeah, we were more in number.
Than Fulani and Hausa soldiers?
Fulani and Hausa were not.
So the Middle Belt really fought that war?
We fought that
against
war.
Biafra?
We fought that war. We fought that war. We fought that war. We fought that war.
Not really the Fulani?
No. We fought that war.
Do you regret fighting against the Igbos?
Well, it's to keep the country united.
This is the country that is united.
That is the country.
Are you not happy with
the country that is united? What is happening today?
So did you regret fighting that war?
Yes. Seeing all these things, I'm regretting. I'm regretting a lot. These are the whole things and the mess that Unyogu destroy in the First Republic. Look at how all these things were rearing its ugly hair in our politics, our body politics today. Look at it. Look at the mess. Yeah? Look at the homogous corruptions that is taking place all over the place. Governor Uku, Emperor Governor, they call them Emperor Governor now. Uku embezzle public fund up to 3 to 5, 30 billion of naira. And after his tenure, we see them walking freely on the street. Is that a democracy that we need now? A democracy that vote doesn't count? It doesn't count. We're not looking for that. But my warning to these civilians, they should be careful, because not civilian alone. The civilian, the politician in Agbada, and then the politician in army uniform. I'm referring to the senior army general, all the generals who are retired and they will retire to join their counterpart in politics. But they have to be careful. The way they are dragging this country to the mud, I think it will come to a level, but you have been warning them. Did they take heed to his advice? This is the man who fought that war and ended the war.
You left the army in 1978?
Yes, 1978. I retired voluntarily.
Voluntarily?
Yes.
Why did you decide to go?
Well, I think I was okay with the army. I showed my patriotism in the war.
Do you have
and then I wanted to...
An ex-soldier is telling you he regretted fighting
my freedom. My freedom.
Because the things that caused
my freedom,
that war is still...
You left the army, you decided to educate yourself.
Yes.
Nigeria.
In fact,
he regretted
most of these people did not know
he regretted being
that I could educate myself to that level.
Against...
Before the war, before I joined the army in 1997, I was primary 6.
And now,
I was having primary 6.
You can see the reason why Mazda...
Not secondary school. I did not go to secondary school.
You can see the reason
then,
why.
During the war, something prompted me.
Pushed
I was
recording
recording
to fight for his people.
all the events that took place in the war, where we
And they
captured,
went to
I record
kidnap him
his
in
casualties, and I gave it to my dad in the village
and
to
then
keep
destroy
it.
me in
And he
Nigeria.
kept the whole record.
But
Then when
you
I
see
saw
some
this
of
record,
Igbos
I said,
paid agents
book,
by the Nigerian government to
and how could I
destroy
write a book
what
on this
Muslim Khan is
war?
doing. The great work
And I said,
Muslim Khan
okay,
is
let me
doing.
go to school.
People
I
like
registered with the exam success
Udene,
college. It's an
people like
external
Dibiakon Uche,
course in the Yaba, Lagos.
and the rest of
They were
them.
sending me
There are so many
lessons.
of them.
I was in the
But guess
barracks reading
They cannot
for my
stop
GOC,
a moving,
I mean for my
moving train.
GCO
Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is
level.
fighting
In
for just cause.
1975, I passed all the
Everybody in
subjects.
Nigeria have called.
And then
this of
1978,
Mazen
when I
Nnamdi Kanu.
retired, I got
Those
all
are,
my
are
A
not
level.
called this of Mazen Kanu.
Then I decided some people
Nobody
said I
knows
should
them.
go to India. I said no.
Tell me one
I finished with the war. I mean with the so I retired voluntarily. Went to
that have
university
called this of Mazen
to
Nnamdi Kanu.
BUK. Bayero
Nigeria
University
Senate
Kano.
have called this of Mazen Nnamdi
I
Kanu.
studied political science.
As of Rep have
That
called
was
this
how
of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu.
I left the army.
The
It was a
politicians,
big
the
surprise
governors
to many people
have called this of Mazen
how
Nnamdi Kanu. The elites,
my quest
the church leaders,
further
the
education
Igwe, the
landed me
Ezzes,
to university
they have
level
called this of
without
Mazen
going to
Nnamdi
the
Kanu.
4 walls of secondary school
Ofele, they
and
have
higher
called this of
institution of
Mazen Nnamdi
learning
Kanu. Pandef,
And you later
have called
found
this of
yourself
Mazen
in the
Nnamdi
civil
Kanu.
service,
in the civil service.
where you served meritoriously.
You
Yes,
see
as assistant
some
director.
these
And then after that,
bad elements.
I decided
People
to
like Dibia
test
Kanu
politics.
always
And you joined the PDP.
Yes,
against
I resigned
IPOB.
my appointment and went to contest.
You see, like people like
For the councillorship.
civilian
It's fair constituency in Ankpa local government
against IPOB.
In Kogi
in
State.
Kogi State, and I won on
They
non-party
told the
basis.
truth. But the
Was it
area
during
and
Abacha
jealous
or during Babangida?
because they
I
were
won it.
connected
That was how I started
to
my
destroy
political
what we
career
did. They were
until I
paid.
retired from
They
politics.
were paid.
Was it last
In
year
one way or the
or
other.
2 years ago? I have retired from politics.
Most of them know. Most of them don't know.
Now at the age of 77, no strength again.
But you keep writing.
Yeah, I keep writing.
Bless.
I think I
Mazen
finished my
Nnamdi
this
May Chukwu Kikama
book,
bless
The Holocaust
every
of Nigeria.
genuine
Biafran.
Yeah.
That is my circular book.
We can see what is
Last book now
happening in
that I'm
Southeast.
on is the
Out of
Bible
a sudden,
commentary. The
can
Bible commentary is
see
spiritual now. The Bible
the
commentary.
commitment of
I'm writing in Igala language so that those people who are reading the Igala Bible to understand the Bible very well.
I am not against going
It's
after
that
the
when
bad
people grow
after
older, they become
the criminals.
more
No,
spiritual.
I'm not against
Yes,
it.
maybe, I don't know.
But
It's the grace of God.
their plan, their
Why?
aim,
It's the grace of
is it
God.
really
You know, I noticed that when they are growing older, the one they
criminals,
some that drug
or
close
is it
at God.
There were some
IPOB
there are people
activities?
who are misbehaving. But it's the grace of
asking.
God. It's the grace of God.
Their plans
If God wants to change you, He will change your entire
that they are
life.
floating security outfits
Then He will use you for His purpose.
on their capacity individually,
He will
the
use you
state.
for His purpose.
They are floating the
Wow.
security outfits. I'm asking, are they
This is the
Are they
story of the
after?
war.
That's the story of the war.
This is the story of Peter Salif.
Nigeria?
I'm writing in Igala
Are they
language.
after the criminals
So
or
that
IPOB? This is my
those
question.
people who are reading the Igala
But let's
Bible
continue.
to understand the
Let's
Bible very
continue.
well.
Is it that when people
This last year or 2 years ago, I have retired from politics. Now at the age of 77, secondary school and higher institution of learning
and you later found yourself in the civil service?
in the civil service course in the Yaba, Lagos, they were sending me lessons. I was in. I think I was okay with the army. I saw my patriotism in the war, and then I wanted to get my freedom. My freedom.
And you left the army, you decided to educate yourself.
Yes. In fact, most of these people did not know that I could educate myself. Before the war, before I joined the army in 1967, I was primary 6. I was having primary 6 certificate, not secondary school. I did not go to secondary school. Then during the war, something prompted me. I was recording all the events that took place in the war, where we capture, I record these casualties, and I gave it to my dad in the village to keep it. And he kept the whole record. Then when I saw this record, I said, I could write a book. And how could I write a book on this war? Then I said, okay, let me go to school. I registered with the Exam Success College. It's an external course in the Yaba, Lagos. They were sending me lessons. I was in the barracks reading for my GOC, for my GCO level. In 1975, I passed all the subjects. And then 1978, when I retired, I got all my A level. Then I decided, some people say I should go to ND. I said, no. I finished with the war, with the army. I voluntarily went to university, to BUK, Bayero University, Kano, and studied political science. That was how I left the army. It was a big surprise to many people how my quest for further education landed me into university level without going to the 4 walls of secondary school and higher institution of learning.
And you later found yourself in the civil service?
In the civil service.
Where you served meritoriously?
Yes, as assistant director. And then, after that, I decided to test politics.
And you joined the PDP?
Yes, I resigned my appointment and went to contest for the councillorship. Ife constituency in Ampa local government.
In Kogi State?
In Kogi State. And I won on non-party basis. Was it during Abacha or during Babangida? I won it. That was how I started my political career until I retired from politics. Was it last year or 2 years ago? I have retired from politics. At the age of 77, no strength again.
But you keep writing.
Yeah, I keep writing. I think I finished my this book, The Holocaust of the Biafran War. That is my circular book. The last book now that I'm on is the Bible commentary, spiritual now. The Bible commentary. I'm writing in Igala language. So that those people who are reading the Igala Bible to understand the Bible very well.
Is it that when people grow older, they become more spiritual?
Yes, maybe, I don't know. But it's the grace of God.
Why?
It's the grace of God.
You know, I noticed that when they are growing older, they some draw closer to God.
There are still some old people who are misbehaving. But it's the grace of God. It's the grace of God. If God wants to change you, He will change your entire life. Then He will use you for His purpose. He will use you for His purpose.
Wow.
He will use you for His purpose.
This is the story of the war.
The story of the war.
This is the story of Peter Salifu, his side of the war. You know, some would say, how do we get his book? Don't worry. We'll tell you soon on how to get his books. One aspect of the war that I don't want to leave out is the amphibious operation to cross the river Niger. You were not part of that.
I was not part of it.
But you knew about it.
I knew about it.
And it was a disastrous crossing.
Very disastrous.
Murtala Muhammad was in charge.
Yes.
The reason I'm bringing him back,
yes,
to you, he led the counter coup.
Yes, yes.
And this was his division.
Division.
And that amphibious crossing was disastrous.
Disastrous.
How would you assess him?
In fact, I don't know how he planned that his strategy to cross, although I commented in my book there. You see, when they cross the water, the frontline soldiers advanced to the market, Onitsha market, and according to some stories, they were saying they were looting in the market. And what happened was that the Biafrans, is it 2 battalion or 2 something, were led by 1 major then, went to their rear at the water side and blocked them there. You see, that was a mistake. They did not put enough sentry at the water side there. So when Biafra came there, saw all their canoe they used for the crossing, destroy it, and they started to inflict heavy casualties on them right from the Onitsha market. They were killing our soldiers. A lot of them, when they pushed them to the water side, there was no way to escape. A lot of them made their water low in the water there. It was a heavy disaster. The casualty was so high indeed, very, very high. They tried that time to no avail. Maybe because they crossed to Ida before they were successful.
So he eventually captured Onitsha.
He captured Onitsha.
Before he was replaced by Colonel Jallo.
Jallo, yes.
And he later became the head of state.
Later became the head of state.
You were in the army when he became the head of state?
I was there now. Well, after the war. After the war.
Some of those that planned the counter coup with him also murdered him.
Yes.
Bukasuka Dinka
Dinka
was part of the counter coup.
Yeah, counter coup, yes.
And he was the one that killed him.
Yes.
Power struggle in the military.
Power struggle. And one of unfortunate thing that we look for this military intervention coups in Nigeria, a lot except that one of Njogu, the revolution of Njogu. Apart from Njogu, all the military coups that we witness in this country are bourgeois coup, capitalist coup. You see, they came into power to protect their own class interests. They did not have any ideology, no focus, no direction.
And Nigeria is still struggling.
It's still struggling. No focus, no direction, no ideology. No ideology.
So the last 2 books we are recommending for this class is this one, The Untold Story of the Nigeria-Biafra War, a chronological reconstruction of the events and circumstances of the Nigerian Civil War. It's a book written by Dr. Luke Nnaemeka Aneke. I love this book. You know, from the title, chronological reconstruction, date by date, to read. Because fortunately, my father had a copy, so as a young boy, I picked it up. I still have the book in my study. It's one of the oldest books in that study today.
Do they have any ideology? This school that we are talking about. They don't have any ideology.
The Sankara coup had ideology.
They have ideology like Njogu.
The Sankara coup was ideological.
Njogu coup had an ideology and focus.
Sankara was focused. Unfortunately, he was murdered.
Maybe. But I know of Njogu. Out of the whole military coup in this country, Njogu coup was the only coup that had an ideology and focus.
As we go, they've said that the worst democracy is better than the best military government. You agree?
Well, yes. Yes. Yeah, but in a situation where vote doesn't count in a democracy, how do we call that? democracy. How do we call that type of democracy? I don't know. I have to go back to what I've discussed. I have to make my call. I have to call on Nigerians. I'll call on Nigerians not to allow Igbo to go away. And I seriously mean it. If Nigeria wants to develop, we need Igbo, not Igbo. Igbo don't need us. They don't need us. We need them seriously to develop this country.
Do you think they will go away?
No, yes. No, because when you start pushing people, then there will be a time they will strike.
Do you think they will strike?
But I don't want any civil war again. Because no country can survive 2 civil wars. And my prayer is that one day an Igbo man will take the leadership, the mantle of leadership of the country. An Igbo man who has character, as Obasanjo always said, like Njogu, will emerge.
Do you think?
And if we don't make any conscious effort to recruit leadership into our democratic process, then a military can come up. But we don't need a military. We don't need military, except any military took over that will look like Nzogu revolution.
Should Tinubu release Nnamdi Kanu?
I said, why are you holding Nnamdi Kanu? For God's sake. I don't know why the subsequent Buhari held him. Why? Because he propagated the ideology of Biafra. What about Sunday Igbo? Igbo, how they call him? From the west, from southwest.
Buhari checked him too.
They brought him from outside, captured him from Benin, brought him to this country. Where is he today? He's a free man walking on the street. His own offense is more than Nnamdi Kanu. Why should you hold Nnamdi Kanu? If we need peace in this country, release Nnamdi Kanu. He's not supposed to be detained. When the court adjudged him to be innocent, and he still hold him in captivity, and that is the democracy we are talking about. That's the democracy we are talking about, where the rule of law is not obeyed, where Nigerians, the leaders, are selecting the rule of law to obey, and not the one they detested. No, I don't believe it. Let the government release Nnamdi Kanu as a way of reconciliation. Because we need Igbo people to develop this country. And I continue to say it. That's my belief. I fought that war. And I stayed in the train for 20 months, 20 good months, fighting day and night. I know who are Igbo. I know them. I'm not from the southeast. I'm not from the southwest. And I'm not from the south. I'm from the north. But let Nigeria give the leadership to Igbo people. That's my concern.
Peter Faruna Salisu, thank you for featuring on State Affairs.
Thank you so much.
I've been discussing with the author of the book, The Bloody Nigeria Biafran War, an eyewitness account of the war 1967 to 1970 from the frontline trenches. He just completed his second book entitled The Holocaust of the Nigerian Biafran War 1967 to 1970, My Memories from the War Front. I am Edmondo Pilo. Thank you for watching. Of the Nigerian Biafran War.
But let Nigeria give the leadership to Igbo people. That's my concern.
Peter Faruna Salisu.
Sir, we thank you for saying the truth. We also appreciate Mr. Obilo for exposing the lies, the blackmail, using his platform to rewrite the gospel history, using his platform to expose the blackmail against the Igbos. And that is why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu authorized his legal team that anyone that tagged this coup as an Igbo coup should be sued and contempt in court. You can see how what Mr. Peter said, the ex-soldier, that they should not let Igbo go if they want Nigeria to be developed. Do you think he's the only person that made this statement, that have made this statement? The answer is no. Before the death of Awolowo, we all expected a politician in the West. Awolowo say it. He said to Professor Banjo, he said to him that Yorubas can only live to their peak. They can only achieve a lot when they work with the Igbos. They must find a way to work with the Igbos. Remember, it was the same Awolowo that bring an idea of 20 pounds to Igbos. How about Oni of Ife? Go and listen. He said Igbos are blessed, that Yorubas must work with them. All those things you see in social media from our brethren who is not up to a local government trying to lay shoulder against their own big brother Igbos. They are not our problem. No, they are not our problem. Our problem are the people, are the cabals, are the foreigners back with the Westerners that's holding everybody down in that country. The man said that, no, they should not let Igbo go. If they want to develop, that they should give Igbo power to rule that country. He knows this is a man that has fought against Biafra during the war, 1960 to 1970. He's telling you because he saw what Igbos did. He saw the capacity of Igbos. With all this, those blackmailers on media, wounded civilian Coup, Dibiako Nuche, are you not ashamed of yourself today? Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not ashamed of yourself? And I have challenged you. I have told you guys, if you think that you have the evidence, come up with a debate. Come up. Let's do it. And they are running away. This is Mazes Mezunwekwensu. We will use our little platform. We will use our little space to debunk and expose these liars from pit of hell. Release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The man said Mazen Nnamdi Kanu should be released, that he have no reason of being there. Release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Out of a sudden, the same Soludo that are telling Nigeria government to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu are the same person saying he don't think that the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will stop insecurity in Southeast. Why did he make this statement? Why? Ask yourself why. There are things that we don't know, but only time we will know. A lot of water have passed under the bridge. Out of a sudden, We saw how they are recruiting security. And we hope that their security is for the criminality in the land. Because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu stands for freedom. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a freedom fighter. He have said time without number that we will not engage in killing our people. People we are fighting for. He said it. And I thank IPOB legal team for standing up and fighting and doing the needful. I thank you all for listening. And I say, may Chukwu Kike Abịama na-ebu ndị egede. Bless you guys. There is some videos I want to play from my previous video I made on 2024 against Gowon. That man is an evil man, still lying at his old age. Let me play this before I go. Let me see. Let me see. Let me play this before I go. Hold on. It's very important we do this. Desmond Obiu, please, I want you to listen to this man and I want you to make a research. We want to know this with evidence. Please. I want you to listen to this video, this clip of video I want to play now. Desmond, this video is for you. This is a man, because I told you guys that even the Zogu Coup was once discussed overseas. Now let's listen to this man. It's very important.
I wish to thank the President for this opportunity for re-engineering the country. I wish to go straight to say that the problem we have in this country is because we have suffering from mental slavery. Over 300 years ago, our parents sold our brothers and sisters into slavery. 300 years later, we are not different. We are still selling ourselves into slavery. There is no originality in this country. This is the root of the problem we have. Those days, the price for the slaves were trinkets, beads, not indigenous. Even the coup, we are blaming the military. Even the coups that we have is not of our own making. I believe there is the author of one of the books I have read in this conference who stated that the idea of a coup was first suggested in one of the military conferences they attended in America. I will go straight to indigenous. Even the coup, we are blaming the military. Even the coups that we have is not of our own making. I believe there is the author of one of the books I have read in this conference who stated that the idea of a coup was first suggested in one of the military conferences indigenous. Even the coup, we are blaming the military. Even the coups that we have is not of our own making. I believe there is the author of one of the books I have read in this conference who stated that the idea of a coup was first suggested in one of the military conferences they attended in America. I will go straight to read, with our permission, that we have. It's not of our own making. Look at the ceiling. There is nothing that is new. Nothing.
So, if this coup we are talking about have been discussed in America before executing it in Nigeria, don't you think that there is Western idea to it? Don't you think that there's Western idea to it? Now, okay, I want you guys to listen to reasons of the war of the coup. Let's go. Hold on. One of the
in
major.
your book, you tried to state the reasons why you people gathered to organize the coup.
You're right.
Now, thinking back now, do you still regard those reasons as valid?
Very.
Listen for a military takeover instead of a democratic change of government. You understand the question?
The reasons were as valid then as they are valid today. The killings in the West and the killings in TV area prompted, in fact, an action from us. And there were other reasons. There were other reasons. They're all enumerated in the book I had tendered.
Now, you use the rank colonel now.
Do you guys hear it? This is one of the major. I think this man died last year. He's one of the major. He said the killings in the West and the Middle Belt make the coup to take place. And why is the killing in the Middle Belt and the West? Why? It was between Akintola and Awolowo. So we have said time without number. Some of the reasons this major struck is as a result of the corruption in the politics. But these people will see all those, the history, will see the truth. They decided to do what? To blackmail Igbos, to lie against Igbos. Why? They are so heavy and jealous. But we are debunking them step by step, inch by inch. Chukwu Kikabiama is with Igbos. Chukwu Kikabiama is with Biafrans. Now, let's go to the lies of Gowon. Let's go to the lives of Gowon.
I was only forced for them to do it, but not to fight the people.
Will understand why it is necessary to maintain peace at all costs.
You know, after the war, after the Civil War, I know what various people went through. Now, honestly, war is not something that you wanted to do. I was only forced to do it, but not to fight the people, the old people, the pregnant women, children, etc. No, I think it was, I gave instruction to the soldiers. There is an instruction that how they are to behave, to look after, to protect the people, the older people. Only those who take up arms against them. That was the thing. Now, when you hear the story that we killed 1 million or 2 million or 3 million people, no, not from the soldiers, shooting people. It meant they have to go, shooting the people right the way through. It is the people that became casualties were the people that Ojukwu and the Eastern government told, from these wicked people, from Gowon, the killer, etc. And of course, these people are running away, and as the area contracted because of our movement, and of course, I think most of people really died of either hunger, diseases, etc. Not really from, the federal troops, shooting and killing people indiscriminately. It is only those who, took up arms, against. And at the end of the war, I said, and I prayed to God that Nigeria should never again go through experience, this.
Chineke ya akpọghị ọkụ. Just go on. Chineke ya akpọghị ọkụ. Did you guys hear him? That during the war, that he told the soldiers that the soldiers did not kill civilians. That it was as a result of people escaping, running away from the soldiers. And some people die out of sickness and diseases. It's not that the Nigerian soldier is shooting them. Okay? How about Asaba massacre? How about Asaba massacre? What happened to Asaba massacre? Who massacred them? Kendi Bundi Madin Asaba massacre. I just want to use that one at a certain point. How about Asaba massacre? Chineke ya oko. Chineke ya oko. God knows the reason why He keep you alive. Chineke ma the reason why He keep you alive. We are denying that Nigeria did not buy civilians. Do you know how many massacres in Igbo land? Even in coastal region, our brethren, Nigerian soldiers use Biafra camouflage to massacre people in Shekiri, in Ijoland, in Kalabari, left their women, and they thought it was Biafra, and that's why most of them are angry about us today. Who do all those atrocities? How about the massacre? Even in Enugu, in Iguacha, Asaba. Biafra, please, I want to repeat this place again. I want you guys to listen.
So that the generations that does not
So this was the program I did last year on 10th of January 2024 on the blackmail and propaganda and lies against Igbo on 96 Coup. You can hear from Gowon denying, lying at his age. But look at the ex-soldier, Mr. Peter, telling you everything, how it happened. Did you hear him say that Gowon gave them instruction on this? No. At his age, Gowon is still lying. May God have mercy upon him. Now, let's go to our brethren and the German. Most of them said that Ojukwu did not consult before going into the war. Let's listen to this man. Then we call it a day.
That you should arrest all the coupists and eliminate them. That was number one. Now, again, in order to unify the federal civil service, not the regions, but the federal civil service, so that it can follow the military command of command, control, and communication, in order to put the country in a stable way before probably talking about administration. Now, enacted the Decree 34, Unification Decree. And this decree was one thing that led the Fulani-led government of the time that had a vacuum, because they never wanted the government to be handed over to anybody. You remember Ahmad Bello's comment, ruthlessly prevented not to hand over to anybody. So when an Igbo man became the head of state, they felt that it was Igbo people that flawed Igbo, whereas it was not just Igbo. And now Igbo man became the head of state. They get furious. And he now unifying with that unification decree. They forgot to know that he was not unifying the regions. He was only unifying the federal civil service. But they asked him to withdraw that unification decree. In fact, the northern elders asked Hassan Osman Kassina, the then the northern governor, the military governor, to tell Agin Rossi to withdraw that unification decree. Otherwise, they would declare Northern Nigeria Republic from the rest of Nigeria. So that was gone. But because he did not do what they wanted, they gathered, and you all know the story. He was killed in Ibadan. And a Nembe man also was killed alongside him. That Nembe man was the orderly to Brigadier Zakaria Maimawari too, and was also an orderly aide-de-camp to Agin Rossi in the Congo War in 1960. That Nembe man was still the same guest of Stephen. But guest of Stephen was not part of that death. Another Nembe man from Okpoma, whose name was Watson Dewario, was also killed, which many people do not know. And from that moment that Agin Rossi was killed, Motala became the ringleader that was the one leading to that second massacre, which they call the second coup. And when they killed him, they started killing people from barracks. They did not only do that. Every pregnant woman that is from this territory, if they catch you, they butcher you, bring the child, cut the head of the child like that. Some people, they put them with sticks, pin them with sticks, behead them, put the sticks on.
This is an Nembe man, and the John man is telling us what they did to us and also to them. I think it's not an Igbo man. Invite wounded civilians to come to listen. What they did to us. You can see the way they murder our brothers, our sisters. On cold blood. Let's continue listening.
These are things that were very gruesome, that they have hidden those histories. Now, at the time, Ojukwu was the head of state, was the governor of the Eastern region. So when this scenario unfolded, Ojukwu told Agin Rossi that he should be careful with using the North to be his aid. But Agin Rossi, being a patriotic man, the Igbos are very patriotic people. Sorry to say for others that may hate them, I don't care. But they are very patriotic people. Because of their patriotism, they were not using the North to be his aide. But Aganist being a patriotic man, the Igbos are very patriotic people. Sorry to say for others that may hate them, I don't care. But they have Gowon to be the head of state. Ojukwu said no. Gowon cannot be the head of state. In this danger, they were still talking about one Nigeria at the time. But when Ojukwu, being the governor, they made Gowon to be the head of state. Ojukwu said no. Gowon can never be the head of state. I'm summarizing into it. Ojukwu cannot be, Gowon cannot be the head of state. The reason is, Gowon was a lieutenant colonel after other eastern lieutenant colonels. Then there were two senior officers from Yoruba land, Brigadier Babafemi Ogundipe and another Colonel Adebayo. So Ojukwu was saying that, look, at the death of Aganist, let it be that the position follows the military ranking. That they should give to Babatope, the Yoruba man, to be the head of state, since he's the highest living person at the time. Otherwise, Adebayo, if Ogundipe will not take it, or else to the other lieutenant colonels that are before Gowon. But no, they will not, until even the American ambassador, that Matthew, the British High Commissioner, Sir Colin Bruce.
You can hear from this our brother, from this Ijo man. He was saying, Ojukwu will say that no, it's not Gowon. That there were other two Yorubas that are above them, that's supposed to be the head of state. And that tells you, if Gowon is senior officer then, that tells you that no Northerner have senior officer to compare to the east, to the west or east. And that's why I'm still saying, Gowon know how this coup started. He knows, Gowon knows how this coup started. You know, because he was after coming from UK, according to him, they were asking him, according to him, it is a coup go happen. And I play a video clip from here again. A man telling us that the coup started from America, the first confirmed, and Gowon was abroad. The moment he came back for 10 hours, the coup took place. The Westerners position Gowon for this thing just because of the oil. And you can see when they ask him about oil, what he said about the oil. He said because if they allow Ojukwu will sell the oil and use the oil money to do etc. etc. Now,
all of them rest on Murtala. In fact, Murtala and Major Martin Adamu had written an address for Northern Nigerian Republic, handed that address to Gowon, who in turn handed that document to MD Yusuf, the then police special operation head. MD Yusuf is Mohammed Diko Yusuf. He was handed.
This MP Yusuf is talking about. And then we come out, make a program about how this guy tell us that Adakabolo was working with the Northerners. Northerners used Adakabolo. It was the same MD Yusuf that tell us that reveal the secret. But he was the policeman in work. He was the Northerners. After that, his own brother David tell us that Adakabolo was working with the North. This is the fact. But at the end of the day, who buy Adakabolo? It's not the same North. After they use him to buy his own people, his own case will be another day. Let's continue listening to our brother.
Over to, and when he was given, he now handed that same document to his cousin, Justice Bello, at that time, who came to Lagos for corruption investigation in the Ministry of Communication or so, who saw the danger too, because already the British people have told them that they amalgamated the South and the North in order to use the wealth of the South to encourage that of the North. And that if they break up at that time, they will suffer. So the British High Commissioner even told Murtala and his Martins that if they moment, they will suffer, so they should not. And that if Brigadier Ogundipe became the head of state, it will gather the world against the North. And so that is how.
That is why Gowon told you guys that he was forced to the war. You guys have known who forced him to the war. Now, you guys have known who pushed Gowon to go to war with Igbos to buy our people. The British High Commissioner tell them no. If you move, you guys own is finished, because they amalgamated the South and North to use the wealth of the South to better the North, because they take Israel away from school. Somebody will come, will sit in his comfort zone, open his dirty laptop, be talking nonsense. I said, bring wounded civilian here, can tell your team Bodombo with fact and figures. Let's continue.
They worked until they pacified their mind with Yakubu.
Please hit the like button. Hit the like button, please.
Ojuku said no.
Hit the like button, please.
Because of his rank, they double promoted Yakubu Gowon into Major General. From Lieutenant Colonel, they bypassed Colonel, they bypassed Brigadier, and made him Major General. That is why Gowon became Major General. Now, with this contest between the Eastern governor and that of the federal government, led to the Ghanaian president of that time, the Ghanaian military head of state, Lieutenant General Joseph Ankara, to invite Ojukwu and his team and that of the federal government to Aburi. And when they went to Aburi, Ojukwu presented a very fantastic document which, if Gowon had kept, we would not have been talking what we are talking today. But that document was a Confederate Republic of Nigeria.
This is an Igbo man talking, not Igbo man. No. This is Igbo man talking, not Igbo man. This is Igbo man telling you the content of the document Ojukwu presented at Abudi. This is Igbo man talking. Remember during the war, when they look at Biafra outstanding Nigeria, before Britain go and seek help for Nigeria, they came to Ojukwu, tell him, let's talk about the oil. And Ojukwu told them, the oil belongs to the people. And the oil belongs to the people. Then after the war, he can come back and negotiate with the people. It's not him. But they went back to Gowon again to give him the support. And that is why they come through the Cameroon and concede a portion of big land to Cameroon, Bakassi Peninsula to Cameroon. So between these people and us, your brothers who love you, they came to Ojukwu. Ojukwu said no, that the resources belong to the people. And because of that resources, they give some ethnicity, some tribe away to another country. When they tell you about Igbo man, hey, we saw jumping. Anything Igbo man on a balance. What the reason why Nigeria is like this is as a result of what Nigeria has done for Igbo people. They are facing the calamity. Let's listen to our brother.
You go back and study what Confederate Republic is. Because of time, I will not be able to go into that details. So when they returned back, Ojukwu told Gowon that if Gowon will come and implement that document, he can now work with him. Gowon even stood up and embraced him. They were all camaraderie there. When they returned back, Ojukwu, because of that, felt that he has gone to make peace, right? Yeah. So he now announced to the Eastern regional people, those who escaped from the north, that he has made peace so they can go back to their areas of where they survived. Unfortunately, for those who listened to him, when they went back to their areas in the north, a month later, they were massacred. Ojukwu died without guilt. Ojukwu died without guilt. Our father died without guilt. And when that happened, a Nembe people, the Nembe Ezon man, my own king, Mingiten, now called Ojukwu, in Port Harcourt, the king of Nembe, His Royal Majesty Osamade Francis Joseph Alagwa, Mingiten of Nembe, called Ojukwu to Port Harcourt. They met in Port Harcourt. And it was the Mingiten of Nembe that told him, you've done your best. That we thought, because Gowon, when he returned back, the federal government, BBC now made another recalcitrant publication or broadcast that the 3 governors and the head of state has bowed down to Ojukwu. So when they made that statement, it now made the northern elders call for Gowon, asked him what document did he go to sign. When they showed him, because they have been schooled by the British people, when he showed them rather, they say, no, you have to withdraw from some document, go back to One Nigeria. So out of that, Gowon went to the public, in his public address, said he cannot stand by that Aburi Accord. That
now they hear the truth.
Nigeria. So Ojukwu on his part said, no, on Aburi we stand. And because it became an impromptu thing, and at the point in time, they were still killing our people. They were massacring our people, even putting them in vehicles down to Port Harcourt, down to Onitsha, down to Umuahia, down to Aba. That is what they were doing. They had the free will. And because Gowon cannot stop them, which is the reason the Mingitan of Nembe now met Ojukwu. And
I want you guys to listen. No, listen. This is to go on.
What Aburi meant. And from Ojukwu, he says, on Aburi we stand. And I say, from Aburi you will fall. So that was probably from Ojukwu. From Ojukwu, he says, on Aburi we stand. And I say, from Aburi you will fall.
This is Mazi Ezumezu. When I say things, I bring evidence for you. I bring the fact for you. This is what that our brother said. This our Ijo brother. Ojukwu stand on Aburi. We stand. And this annual of your Koko, tell him on Aburi you will fall. That you cannot use Aburi to intimidate them or lure them to his own desire. Let's continue listening to our brother. I have no time. Because I will.
Called this extrusion of the southern part into the sea, Biafra. The Portuguese called that area Biafra, although Biafra existed long before them. Are you understanding? Yes. But in the modern nomenclature of this territory, which is why if you look at the old Nigerian map, from Bayelsa down to the east to Akwa Ibom, we have this as Bat of Biafra. Then from Bayelsa to the west, we have Bat of Benin. Then the old water is called the Gulf of Guinea. So because our king felt that the Bat of Biafra involves his own kingdom, and to be an all-inclusive thing, he took it to Ojukwu and said, look, Gowon cannot protect us anymore. So use this name and call the eastern region, which includes us, as Biafra, to be a country of our own away from Nigeria. But let us, that is one thing we have to mention here clearly. I'm mentioning this so that our Igbo cousins too will understand. Ojukwu did not wake up to just declare it, because he's a very trained historian and a senior military officer. So he asked my king, did you discuss this with your coastal elders? That's number one. Two, he told me to understand. Ojukwu did not wake up to just declare it, because he's a very trained historian and a senior military officer.
When I listen,
so he asked my king,
who that civil that you listen,
did you
take a ball there?
Ojukwu did not wake up to just declare it, because he's a very trained historian and a senior military officer.
That Ojukwu did not wake up to declare Biafra. The people, the kings, called him, said, no, we have done your best. It's time we go. We have to go. Let's complete it.
So he asked my king, did you discuss this with your coastal elders? That's number one. Two, he told them that if he declares, the Nigerian side will wage war, because one, it was an impromptu thing that we never planned for. And
war.
that we have not even done international consultation. We don't even have money. But because when you see,
when I hear them, this Nigerian man, I tell you this thing so. Even when they call Ojukwu, when the king, when they call and say, no, it's time we go, Ojukwu say, have you discussed with your people. And again, we not plan this war. We not get money to fight this war. They say go. The people tell Ojukwu to go, mostly from the coastal area. It was even Frank Opigo that gave that name Biafra. Through that meeting, the king called. But the same coastal brother, they are keeping quiet. They are seeing their Igbo brethren wiping in tears. Fulani are subduing them from Abuja. Somebody like Tompolo will not do anything. Somebody like I take a Tom will not do anything. Somebody like Boy Love will not do anything. The young youth from Niger Delta, from coastal area, keep mute. Ike crack, cover them. But they are the one that push us. We love everybody. All we know that Biafra will come. Mazi Nankana is coming out soon. On this note, I will tell you guys, good night. Send this video to wounded civilian. Tell him that I challenge him for a debate. Let him come up for a debate with facts and figures. Anyway, tell him let him come up. I greet you, the hard calls. Please share the program and like the program. This is Mazi Ezumezu Nwekwensu. When we say things, we bring evidence. When we say things, we bring out evidence. We don't just yap. We say the truth. This video I played was last year, January 10. My second video on 1966 Coup. Today, we are repeating the program again. Today, it will have come on the round table on our leader Mazi Nnamdi that anybody that tag this Coup on Igbos should be sued in courts. Ana m ekene nkwe kene nwaanyị si udo dịrị anyị. Udo dịrị our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. On this note, I will call it a day. Ana m asị onye afọ taa ka afọ echi ndụ nwoke ndụ nwaanyị. Ndụ our leader ya adị. Ndewonu.
In the heart of Biafra's land, where courage blooms, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands, defying darkened tombs. A beacon of hope, a voice soon yielding. He fights for justice, freedom, heart's true healing. Mazi Ezumezu Nwekwensu, your spirit ablaze, guiding your people through the tumultuous mazes. From prison walls you sing defiance and truth, a symphony of liberation, unwavering in you. Freedom, freedom, let it echo across the hills, where rivers flow and dreams ascend, where hope fulfills. Biafra's anthem rises, carried by winds so strong, a melody of resilience, a battle cry, a lifelong song. Chains may blind, but not the soul. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, your purpose takes its toll. The world may turn away, blind to your plight, yet your flame burns brighter, igniting the a tapestry of resistance woven without rage. Your words pierce the silence like sunbeams through rain, calling for freedom's dawn, breaking every chain. Freedom, freedom, let it echo across the hills, where rivers flow and dreams ascend, where hope fulfills. Biafra's anthem rises, carried by winds so strong, a melody of resilience, a battle